Welcome inside sold-out Memorial Stadium as unbeaten and 16th-ranked Indiana looks to continue their dream start as they host a Nebraska side just one win away from entering the top 25.
We want to be the best. With right commitment, we can be the best.
And Indiana with the immediate gut punch.
They've been the surprise and the headline story of the Big Ten.
One thing about us is like we're not entitled, we work.
It's Go Big Red time.
We are one of the best teams in the country. I pray you trust in that.
Got to go out there and play with the pressure on and let it rip.
When I talk about changing the way people think, I'm not talking about just our team, the athletic department, the university. I'm talking about everybody. Everybody in the state, Big Ten country, the country.
Delivery to kickoff sponsored by Wendy's Saucy Nugs. Get $0 delivery in the Wendy's app. What a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in Bloomington. Glad you're with us on Big Noon Kickoff. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, our Heisman winners. Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart, our national championship winning head coach, Urban Meyer. Last year, IU, they went 3-9, made a coaching change. Preseason, they were picked to finish 17th in the 18-team Big Ten. But here they are, challenging not only for a Big Ten title, but also for a playoff spot. Today, though, by far, Mark, their stiffest challenge of the season.
Man, this Indiana team is exciting to watch on tape. Their offense has been really good. They've been executing at a high level, but this is their first test of the season. They have not seen a defense like Nebraska's defense. Nebraska's defense, they don't give up big plays. They lead the Big Ten in sacks and tackle for loss, and they haven't given up a rush TD all year long, while Indiana's offense has had 23 rush TDs. Yeah. So today, in a little bit, we'll be able to see what happens when an unstoppable force meets what? An immovable object.
You know, I spoke to Nebraska defense coordinator Tony White. I got a lot of respect. I think he's one of the best defensive coaches in the country. He actually coached against Curtis Rourke when he was at Ohio U, and he was more of a spread option type runner, type thrower, had a tough knee injury. He's come back so impressed with how he's become. Like Brady said earlier, he moves the pocket. Yep. So he's become an excellent quarterback. But here's the thing he said to me. It's hard to beat a team that won't be beat. He's given a compliment to Cignetti and the staff. They don't make mistakes, Mark. They don't turn the ball over. They don't have stupid penalties. Right. It's hard to beat a team that won't be beat.
Sure. I'm looking at Indiana in this matchup and a few questions. Can they get pressure on Dylan Raiola? You know, freshman starter on the road in Big Ten play. When he gets pressured, different player, that's where the mistakes come. That's for Indiana's defense. The other thing is how they match up. If you look at this Nebraska wide receiver group, the smallest guy is Bonner at 6'2". Everyone else is 6'4", 6'4". Your tight ends at 6'6". They're big bodies, Coach, and you know in this game of football, it's a matchup game. How do they match up with those big bodies? Right. Do they play smaller personnel and treat them as wide receivers? Or do they play them as more of like those two tight end sets base personnel to be able to stop the run? Because they'll use those wide receivers in blocking scheme for backside cutoff. So how they handle those matchups will largely dictate, I think, whether or not Indiana can stand defeated.
Ball security.
Yes,
we know that Curtis Rourke going to face the toughest defense he's faced all season long. And Dylan Raiola, as you mentioned, can they get after him and can he protect the ball? And honestly, guys, we've been talking about it for the last 2 hours, this Cinderella story. Are they for real? Indiana just gets a chance to prove that. How do they handle adversity today against the best team they will have faced at this point?
And currently, Indiana favored in every game this season up until the second to last game of the campaign at Ohio State. So they could be 10-0 at that point if Vegas has their way. Today, they are favored, Coach, by 6.5.
I've been to Bloomington many, many times, boys. It's never been like this, and it should be like this. I think it's going to be an absolute street fight, ugly, nasty game. They're going to play hard. I'm going to pick the Hoosiers 38-31.
This one was difficult for me because usually I'm a man of emotion, and I go with the crowd. By the way, they brought it this morning. I'm going with Nebraska, 31-28. They are more battle-tested. I think Dylan Raiola plays well, and that defense gets after Curtis Rourke in the offense.
Man, I got to go with my man, Coach Sig, the Cignetti, the Fighting Cignettis. Coach, what you say the home field advantage is worth?
What's that?
The home field advantage is worth how much? 3 points.
on your team, at least 3 points.
I got 27-24. Who's your den?
I got 24-21 Indiana in this match. I'm concerned about Nebraska's big playability down the field. Do they have the weapons and wide receivers to be able to do it and match what Indiana can bring?
This is an Indiana team that has yet to trail this season. They are outscoring the opposition by 196 points. They have the #1 offense in the Big Ten. Last week and last night we were saying, hey Brady, why not BYU?
Why not IU? And they should be saying that to themselves the way they played this year. But again, this is the test. Can they get by Nebraska to get to 7-0 and become the team that we think they are?
Oh, this homecoming crowd is ready. The Boo Birds are out, and here come the Hoosiers. Can the Hoosiers remain unbeaten? We'll see you next at halftime. We send it upstairs to the two calling the game, Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Welcome to Memorial Stadium here in Bloomington, Indiana, and we are ready for Big Ten football between two very good teams as the Nebraska Cornhuskers come into town to take on the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. A look at the Big Ten standings, folks. Doesn't this look a little weird? Oregon on top of the Big Ten standings. Where did they come from? They're 4-0, and right behind them, the Indiana Hoosiers at 3-0. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt. Partner, where are we? What do you mean? I've been doing this for 14 years at Fox. Indiana's 6-0.
Yes, at the top of the Big Ten.
11 teams unbeaten in college football.
This is so good.
First time since 1967 they're 6-0.
Yeah.
Second time in program history. Kurt Cignetti, their coach.
Yeah.
He predicted this, folks.
Yeah.
Let's go back and listen to what he said after he got the job and had a chance to meet with the Indiana faithful at a basketball game and a press conference.
You don't bring your kids up, Johnny. I want you to be 4th best.
Purdue sucks!
It's pretty simple. I win.
But so does Michigan and Ohio State!
Google me.
Go
We
That's
love
so
it.
Good.
And we did Google him, folks.
That's right.
And he's a winner.
Oh, man.
Joel, he's a winner everywhere he's gone.
That's right.
Everywhere.
This is what I love about him, right? And this is what I love about what Indiana did. They hired a guy that knew what he was doing. And what is that, right? Everyone's asking, well, how are they doing this? Experience. And he knew that he had to go get experience at the most important position. And enter Curtis Rourke, a transfer from Ohio, former MAC Player of the Year. This guy is a hell of a player. 14 pass touchdowns. That's tied for most in the Big Ten. As he goes, so goes the Hoosiers offensively. Now, on the opposite side, here comes Nebraska with their second-year head coach, Matt Rule, and he has rebuilt programs before. He did it at Temple, he did it at Baylor. Now he's in the process of doing it again at Nebraska. 5-1 this year, first time since 2016, and he understood that he had to fix some quarterback issues from a year ago. So enter the true freshman, Dylan Raiola, who comes in as one of the most highly recruited players in the country in the offseason. He chooses Nebraska, and he has injected confidence into this offense. So two programs trying to build and doing it opposite ways. A young quarterback and the experienced quarterback. I can't wait to watch both of these guys play today.
All right, time now to join the third member of our team on the sideline. You know who she is. Let's go downstairs to the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Well, Coach, your swagger and winning ways really have been infectious to this team, to this fan base. How do you keep this thing rolling and stay undefeated?
By playing good today, one play at a time, never satisfied. Do your job. 11 guys doing their jobs, not addition, it's multiplication.
It's a special vibe inside this stadium, Memorial Stadium sellout. First time since 2021. How do you use it to your advantage?
Well, that's what winning does. Winning puts people in the stands, right? They're the 12th man. We're going to play well.
Thanks.
And there's a confident coach, 6-0 on the season on a beautiful day. Just perfect. 65 degrees, sunny, little wind blowing here in Bloomington. And we are ready for the 5-1 Nebraska Cornhuskers as they prepare to take on the 6-0 Indiana Hoosiers in a series that dates back to a 1936 meeting in Lincoln. Indiana leads the series, 10 wins, 9 losses, 3 ties, although the Huskers have won 6 of the last 7. Last time they played in 2022 in Lincoln, Nebraska won it 35-21 as Casey Thompson passed for a touchdown, ran for another to break a 21-all tie in the 4th quarter. Nebraska won the toss, deferred. IU will receive. Hoosiers putting a 6-0 record on the line against the 5-1 Nebraska Cornhuskers, and it's fair caught inside the 10-yard line. And that brings on Dylan Raiola. Folks, he's a true, that brings on Curtis Rourke. Folks, he's a 6th-year player. He's been around, transferred from Ohio, and he's been putting up just gaudy numbers this season, coming off another 300-yard passing performance in his last affair.
I think Rourke has been one of the great bright spots in college football, the way that he has played here for Indiana. Now, this offense is predicated, Gus, on his decision-making. They use the run-pass option where he, post-snap, has the ability to hand the football off or throw it down the field on virtually every play, and his decision-making is the key to the game.
First down and 10 at the 25-yard line. For Rourke, out of the gun, with time, throwing it on first down, or dropping down, and it's Justice Ellison, gets his shoulder square. Ellison dropped on the play by Vincent Shavers Jr. Offensively, let's take a look at the Hoosiers.
They brought back 4 starters from last year's Indiana team, and then they brought in a transfer, Trey Wettig, right tackle from Wisconsin. So experience up front, and then everybody touching the football is a transfer. But Gus, it's more than that. They're experienced transfers. These are guys that were all conference, 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard backs. All of these guys have played a ton of football.
Players of the year in their conferences, 2nd and 4 at the 31. Rourke was the player of the year in the MAC. Fires out wide, and this ball caught Zach Horton, his tight end, and he's dropped by Malcolm Hartzog Jr. defensively for Nebraska.
This is a great defense. This is a top 10 scoring defense in college football, in large part due to those big guys up front. Hutmaker and Ty Robinson, number 9, he's terrific. Bullock, he's their leader, number 5, the linebacker, all over the field. Already 33 tackles on the year. And then on the outside, they may get their corner, Tommy Hill, back in this game, number 6. And it does look like he's starting. He's at the top of your screen. He's a guy that's been battling plantar fasciitis, and now he's back on the field for Nebraska right up top.
3rd down and 1 at the 34. Opening series for IU. They'll pitch it out wide. Ellison gets his shoulder square with a lane. Ellison straight up the middle, and Ellison down inside the Nebraska 25, big time move, 43 yards.
I'm telling you, watch this block by the right guard. It doesn't look like much, but he's the one that springs this. Bray Lynch, great cutback from Ellison, but that block right there gives him the cutback lane. And there's Justice Ellison down the field. Huge first down on the first 3rd down opportunity for Indiana and more.
Bray Lynch, first-year starter, prep All-American on that offensive line, playing right guard. First down and 10 for IU at the 23. Tyshawn Lawton in the backfield. They'll give it to him. Looking for some daylight, trying to get outside, and he's dragged down immediately. Deshaun Singleton with the tackle, but there is a flag on the play.
I think they're going to get our guy with the great block, and he's going to get a holding call in this next play.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Drew Evans.
Yeah, so Evans he's right over here, the left guard, and Evans is working on Ty Robinson. He goes down to the ground, and the flag comes out.
Drew Evans broke his high school's 55-year-old shot put record. He's 6'4", 306. They back it up 1st and 20. Empty backfield for Curtis Rourke. Up to the middle, and it's caught. Miles Cross, the senior, who was the roommate and teammate of Curtis Rourke at Ohio. He's from Bowie, Maryland.
Yeah, easy decision for him, right? His quarterback goes to Indiana. He says, well, I'm absolutely going to follow Curtis Rourke and head to Indiana, and he's been terrific. Already 17 catches coming into this game, 2 for touchdowns, and Now a catch here early in this one.
Rourke in his last game, 25 of 33, 380 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. 2nd and 10. Over the middle. That didn't fool anybody. Terrific defense. It's caught by Keyshawn Williams, but he's dropped immediately by Bayer.
Yeah, this is a great job right here. Here's the linebacker, number 42, Bayer, and he reads it, splits all the linemen, and he's right there to make the tackle. So beautiful recognition, and now Nebraska has a great opportunity to try to force Indiana into a kicking situation here, Gus, on 3rd and long.
Third down and 11 at the 24. Justice Ellison in the backfield. Rourke in trouble. Got it away. Has his receiver Ellison looking for the first down. He dives forward. Will not get it, but he's close. He gets 9 on 3rd and 11. Tommy Hill defensively. So Coach Cignetti, you know what he's going to do. He's going for it.
I was going to say it's a huge play right there because it puts it right in that 4th and 1, 4th and 2 range, and Curt Cignetti is certainly going to be aggressive. Offense stays on the field.
4th down and 2 at the Nebraska 15-yard line. Ellison remains in the game with Rourke. Rourke to throw it. Over the middle, caught, first down, IU. At the Nebraska 5, and look at this, folks. That's a 10-yard gain on 4th and 2.
And you get the motion coming over, Gus, and so he's the number 2 release. He works outside and then back in. It's a nice job right here and a beautiful design, clearing out some space, and look how calm Rourke is. When I watch tape, this is what I'm most impressed with Curtis Rourke, and it's only developed through experience, is how calm he is in the pocket, even on a 4th down. Beautiful job.
Cool Kurt. Miles Cross with the reception. 9th play of the drive coming up. And they hand it off straight ahead. Touchdown, Indiana. Oh, you thought we were playing around. They say we have an easy schedule. No team that we faced this year above 500 until today against Nebraska.
Great job by the left guard. He blocks over in the double team, then gets up to the linebacker, 62, Drew Evans. That's a beautiful block. And there's Ellison in for a touchdown, and that is the first rushing touchdown that Nebraska has given up all season long. Indiana right down the field.
Nicholas Radicic in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. Are they for real? That's the question everybody's been asking in college football. Is Indiana for real? They're undefeated. Have they played anybody? Yes, they have. Are they playing somebody? Yes, they are. And they're up 7-0. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. And by Chewy. For life with pets, there's Chewy with everything. IU with a 7-0 start, and that brings on the true freshman quarterback, Dylan Raiola. He's had a solid freshman campaign, but he's been sacked 11 times in 3 Big Ten games. And his completion percentage has decreased 4 games in a row. His numbers weren't great in their win against Rutgers. It was a hot day, though, in Lincoln. 97 degrees and windy. He was 13 of 27, 134, no touchdowns, a pick, and he was sacked 4 times. So he starts 1st down and 10 at his own 1. Dante Dowdell. Give him a little bit of room. He gains 2.
Gus, backed up like this. After a nice offensive series where you score a touchdown, if I'm Curt Cignetti in Indiana, I sell out for the pass. All out blitzing. Try to continue to get them backed up. Force them to punt inside their own 5. If they've got the stones to let a true freshman throw it from his own end zone, then tip your cap. But right now, I would be super aggressive if I was Indiana.
3rd down and 8 at the 3. Make that 2nd down and 8 at the 3. Here's Raiola, far side, and that one just out of bounds. Looks like some miscommunication with Nair, his wide receiver.
And again, now they just need some room. If they don't gain any yards, your punter's going to have his heels on the back end line. They had punts blocked last week, a couple of them. They do not want to be punting the football backed up in this situation. Time for Indiana right here. Play heavy man coverage, maybe send a pressure at Raiola.
3rd down and 8 at the 3-yard line. Raiola steps into his throw and caught for first down. Nicely done. Fedoni, their tight end, who they're so high on. He was a terrific talent coming out of high school, but has battled injury.
He has a couple of knee injuries in his past, but Gus, he's finally healthy, and you can see what they've always loved about him. Look at that ability to catch the ball with his hands, strong hands out there, and a great throw from Raiola. That's good ball placement and a first down.
6'6", 255 junior from Iowa. First down at the 12. Play fake. They'll dump it off. Near side. Fedoni again. This time he doesn't go far. Maybe a yard. Offensively, let's take a look at the Cornhuskers.
So up front, Gus, they're on their 3rd left tackle. Gunnar Gatula is a redshirt freshman, and number 77 is going to be under a lot of pressure today because Kamara's on the other side. We'll get to that in just a moment. And then on the outside, watch for Ja'Cory Barney. He made the mistake on the kickoff, but he's a talented freshman.
They throw it out wide and incomplete. That ball intended for Jamal Banks defensively for IU.
I just mentioned Kamara, number 6. He's terrific. Already 5 sacks, Gus, on the year. He's a transfer from JMU with Signetti. Aiden Fitcher, another JMU transfer. He's the heartbeat of the defense. Secondary, probably the weakest part of their D. I think Nebraska is going to want to throw the ball quite often today.
This Indiana front 7, pretty good, folks. 3rd down and 9. Raiola in trouble. Throws it incomplete. That one out of bounds. No flags on the play. Jalen Walker with pressure. And the Huskers will have to kick it away.
And nobody touched Jalen Walker. This is clearly a mistake in protection, bringing one more than they've got. And Raiola is trying to escape and get the ball out to his left. Walker hurt his shoulder last week, came back in that ball game, and is now back in the lineup today.
And punting and kicking has been an odyssey for this Nebraska football team. Here's Brian Buschini punting out of his own end zone. Miles Price, the deep man. Buschini gets it away. Was nicked up in their last game against Rutgers. Price, sideline with a lane, crosses midfield and gets into Nebraska territory. So Indiana will start with great field position. 52-yard punt, 18-yard return. And here comes cool Curtis Rourke. See if he can do it again. 7-0 IU.
Honey? But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo in a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the vest.
Available only on digital.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Be the first to scream at home with exclusive bonus features.
Get away from her.
Alien Romulus. Buy it now only on digital.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you a free pizza to use for a future pizza emergency. So you'll have an emergency pizza. A free pizza when you need it most.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our fast and friendly claim service.
Eyes on the phone now.
Look alive, Drew.
Your repairs have been scheduled.
Nice.
Yes, you'll get a rental car on site.
Heads up. Oh, I'm gonna turn this down to an 8. My bad.
We can do this all day. Geico claim service is 24/7. Nice catch.
Your claim has been approved. Your claim has been approved.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey looking lost.
Hey, I'm looking for a lawn. Could you point me aisle 27?
Find what you need faster with the Lowe's app.
Mayotivations with Will Levis. Mayo dip be creamy and your quarterback dreamy. Oh, hey. May your game day be delicious.
Play today's Fox Super 6 free-to-play game. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a chance to win your share of $5,000 in weekly cash prizes. Scott Dolson, the athletic director here at Indiana, had to go into a deep dive to come up with the next coach, and he certainly hit it out of the park. Curt Cignetti is a winner. He's never had a losing season, and he's won 4 conference titles and 4 division titles, including one or the other in all 5 seasons at James Madison. 4-time Coach of the Year, including the last 2 seasons in the Sun Belt. His team up 7-0. Biggest game of the season so far for the Hoosiers against Nebraska. 1st and 10 at the 45. Rourke with time delivers to the wide side, and it's caught by Miles Cross, his former teammate at Ohio. What makes Curt the Kid such a special player this season?
You can tell he's processing information at a slow rate, so the game is slow for him. I think that's evident by how he works in the pocket. You just saw it on that last play. You know, Gus, when you get a guy that's played a lot of football, understands what he's doing out there, then he's going to find the weakness in the defense, and you can tell that he does that when he's working his way through the progression.
Now 7 of 7 to start this game. They run it this time, Justice Ellison. And I thought it was interesting, Coach Cignetti saying that Curt reminds him of Phillip Rivers, who he coached at NC State.
Yeah, so Curt Cignetti, you know, one of his early stints as a coach was at NC State when Phillip Rivers was there, and when he started to watch film of these transfer quarterbacks, these guys in the portal, he came to Curtis Rourke and he said that's what he initially thought. First couple of plays, like, oh, I see a lot of Phillip Rivers. Now, not release, but just mannerisms and the way that he processes the game.
2nd down and 13. Rourke near side has his receiver as he turns it upfield. Miles Cross again. He either has the first down or is really close. Knocked out a play by Marquise Buford Jr. And that brings up 3rd down and short.
And you see all those little run fakes in the backfield. Those are the RPO that I was talking about earlier. And Rourke does a great job of reading the defense after the snap and then throwing it where the defense is weakest.
Gained 11, 3rd down and 2 at the 26. Curtis Rourke from Toronto, Canada. His brother was a terrific player. Quarterback at Ohio, now with the BC Lions in the CFL. Rourke over the middle, incomplete. Looking for his tight end, Zach Horton. First incompletion for Rourke today. 5:49 to play in the first.
And they do not drop the ball often. That's only the 2nd drop Indiana has had all year. He only had 1 credited to him all year, and Horton certainly should have brought that one down. He's a JMU transfer, a real key to this team at H-back. They move him around, but here on 4th down, they'll go for it again, 2nd time today.
And the good thing that Coach Cignetti did was he brought his running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends with him from James Madison. 13 players transferred from JMU to IU. And it's working so far. Timeout, IU, up 7-0.
As you plan for your financial future, keep a steady eye on the best approach. For nearly 160 years, generations have put their trust in Pacific Life's strength and stability. Because protecting those you care about with life insurance and retirement solutions is a winning game plan. Ask a financial professional about Pacific Life.
With the first pick in the Jersey Mike's Catering Box Draft, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So,
The Jersey Mike's Catering Box, a sub above.
Hey, Mark, what are you doing, buddy?
I've always wanted to be in a homecoming parade. I grew these flowers myself, but more so, I grew as a person. Check this. Showtime.
Roll Tide.
Type 2 diabetes? Discover the Ozempic Trizone. I got the power of 3. I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
I'm under 7.
Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as stroke, heart attack, or death in adults also with known heart disease.
I'm lowering my risk.
Adults lost up to 14 pounds.
I lost some weight.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
Ask about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. The last time Indiana started the season 6-0 was in 1967. Led by quarterback Harry Gonzo, the Hoosiers started the season with 8 straight wins on their way to winning the Big Ten championship. That was the year I was born, Parker.
Was it really?
That's right. Summer of love. 4th down and 2.
You're young, man.
Oh. You think?
I know so.
I don't know. My back doesn't feel like that when I get up anymore.
Yeah, but your voice is young.
Ah, there you go. This kid is young, and he's good. Curtis Rourke. 4th down and 2 at the 26. They're going for it. Rourke in trouble and goes down. Great pressure. Mekhi Bayer with the sack, a loss of 9.
Well, the offensive line is going to slide this way, but watch this, Gus. Just an easy blitz from the linebacker, Bayer, but this is the problem. If he just would have been looking down the seam, look at this. He's got his wide receiver wide open, couldn't get there as Bayer got to him right when his eyes went to the right, and all he had to do was try to hold on to the football. Great stop for Nebraska, and they put their offense on the field.
So Indiana turns it over on downs. Nebraska 1st and 10. At the 35. Dante Dowdell in the backfield. Raiola, pump fake, goes long, and it is incomplete. No, yes, a flag on the play. A late flag coming near the intended receiver, Jameer Johnson, in coverage.
Top of your screen. It's a double move.
Defense number 9. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Easy call right there. Nice job on the route, selling that double move, Gus. That first pump and getting Jameer Johnson, the transfer from Texas, to jump up, and all he could do was hold. Not a bad penalty from him because that's probably a touchdown if it gets completed. So he grabs the wide receiver and prevents 6.
Johnson from Pasadena, California. 1st down at midfield for Raiola. Raiola with time, steps up in the pocket, throws to the wide side, caught once again by his tight end, Thomas Fedoni. Will gain 5 on the play, tripped up by Johnson.
And those are when the comparisons start coming in to good old number 15, and you know the 15 I'm talking about because it's just the subtle elusiveness and then the drop down in arm angle. He goes all the way sidearm to get a completion to basically his outlet Fedoni and picks up 5.
2nd down and 5 at the 45. Raiola standing strong in the pocket. Out wide again. Dowdell. And Dowdell close to that 1st down. And Carr pushes him out of play. A gain of 4 on 2nd and 5.
I tell you, this Indiana secondary so far is making Raiola work through his progression. But look at this, some fast tempo here on a short yardage.
3rd and 1. Dowdell, 1st down and more. Hard running between the tackles, Nebraska style. Gain of 9 on 3rd and 1. D'Angelo Pons with the tackle.
What they're going to do is run themselves out of the blitz here. Look at the top of your screen. That's the linebacker on the outside. Actually, strong safety, Sean Asbury, number 1. He runs outside, and that leaves a hole in the middle of the defense, and Dowdell high steps for a 1st.
1st down and 10 at the 32. Another handoff as they run right. And it's interesting when you look at the kids out on the field. Dominic Raiola, who won the Remington Award here at Nebraska as an offensive lineman, then went on to play for the Detroit Lions for a long period of time. I covered him when he was a player in Detroit. And now his son, offensive lineman's son, is the starting quarterback. That's something.
I love it.
He must got his elusiveness and his arm from his mom.
That's exactly right.
2nd down and 9. He'll reverse. Guns it. Incomplete. Let's go downstairs to Jen.
And I got a chance to catch up with him, Gus. Dominic and Mom Yvonne, obviously so proud watching their son. I asked Yvonne, what is it like to see your son rocking that Nebraska gear? She said, it's like he's a young boy in the backyard. Again, we are living out our dream. He's playing with so much joy. This is a family affair for Nebraska.
Originally committed to Ohio State, then flipped his commitment to Georgia. And right before he was getting ready to announce, he had a feeling about Nebraska. There was something in his heart. Over the middle, caught, 1st down for the Cornhuskers. This time it's Jalen Lloyd, a gain of 10.
Boy, this is a great job of replacing the blitz with the ball. So here's the slant, and then here's the blitz that you get. So as soon as those guys take off, look at Raiola, and he wasn't even set. He just flips it out there. That's the arm talent right there and the knowledge, and he's able to get the ball out. But now you have to wonder, was that ball out? Was Lloyd down? I don't know if he was. Try to snap the ball as quickly as they can, and they do.
And they get it away. From what you've taught me, when the blitz comes, you throw at it?
That's right. That's exactly right. Replace the blitz with the ball. And right here, I'm surprised they didn't take a look at that. Obviously, his butt is going to put him down. Did he lose control? That was awfully close, but alertly, Nebraska runs up to the line of scrimmage and gets a snap off before replay can initiate a sequence where they take another look at that, and that would have been close.
2nd and 9 of the 20. Good drive now for Nebraska. Ramir Johnson checks in. He's very talented, can catch it out of the backfield as well. Here's the option. Raiola dives forward. Check that. Harburg in the Wildcat formation, diving forward, and he'll get close to that 1st down.
Yeah, a little bit like Penn State, Gus. We've done a couple of those games. Perbula, you know, the backup quarterback who's got all the athleticism. That's the same thing here with Harburg. He'll come in and spell Raiola when they want to get into that quarterback run game, and they do it right there.
3rd down and 1 of the 12. Dowdell, the Oregon transfer, back in the game. Best drive so far for Nebraska. Hand it off. Dowdell, he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Jalen Walker shot the gap. Dragged him down, no gain.
I don't think they're going to kick this. I know their way down here has been a quality series, but they have struggled mightily in the kicking game. In fact, they're on their backup kicker, John Hole. John Hole is 1 of 5. They had trouble with the snap last week. Matt Rule knows that kicking is really not an option, so they'll go for it on 4th down.
4th down and 1 at the 12, 10th play of the drive. For the Cornhuskers, Dowdell remains in the game, out of the I formation. And a timeout called by Nebraska. So Nebraska calling the timeout. Really solid series here. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow it's a huge NFL doubleheader on Fox. First at 1 Eastern, the Lions take on the Vikings or other regional action. Then in America's Game of the Week, it's a Super Bowl rematch of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs battle Brock Purdy and the Niners. Only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. I tell you, that Lions-Vikings game should be a good Vikings. Surprising.
Yeah, they've been really good, haven't they? Sammy Darnold. Remember covering his games, obviously, when he was at USC. There's Matt Rule. And the kicking woes, you know, we were talking about that in a little bit. Tristan Alvano, they thought was going to be their starting kicker. He's been banged up and had a procedure. Probably won't kick for some time. 1 of 5, John Hole is. So Matt Rule knows that they've got to go for it and not getting it on 3rd. And here we go.
4th down and 1 at the 12. Dowdell, the deep back, second man through, and he picks up and he fumbled. Indiana says they have it. And they do. Turnovers.
Beautiful job by number 2, Jalen Walker. He's in there, puts the hat on the football. It comes loose, and Indiana recovers. Probably would have been short anyways. Didn't really matter who recovered it at that point. It was 4th down. It was going to go Indiana's way, but they get on that football regardless. Huge stop by that Indiana defense. They're up 7. Defense playing well. Offense right back on the field.
Turnovers doomed Nebraska last year.
Oh,
but they've been much better this season.
I mean, 31 turnovers last year. Gus, 25 of those just by the quarterback alone, which is just a staggering amount. And that's a big reason why they lost so many one-score games. And here, an early 4th down stop by Indiana. That is not what Matt Rule wants.
That's their 5th turnover of the season. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Lawton. Gain of 3. John Bullock defensively.
Well, this defense is going to have to buckle up and change their looks. Okay, when I say that, that means that the linebackers and safety are going to have to be constantly moving before the snap because Curtis Rourke is too smart. So these guys back here, they've got to disguise, they've got to back out from their linebacker position because if Rourke knows where you're at, he's going to eat you up.
And he'll hand it off, running wide. It's Lawton. 1st down. As he gets out of bounds.
Rourke knows if he's got 2 safeties back, they can block everybody up front. So they've got what's called the run ratios. They've got enough blockers to block every run defender. And so when it's that easy for him to locate those safeties, he can just hand the football off for a quality run.
Quick first quarter, folks. Both teams running the football. Indiana will head into the second quarter with the football and the lead.
Yeah, Hunter, yeah.
I turn it up another notch. I rock it loud and make it hot. I spike the punch and make it pop. Don't stop. Living my best life. Living my best life. Do what I feel like. Living my best life.
IHG One Rewards, 19 hotel brands, 6,000 global destinations, one loyalty program that lets you guest how you guest.
What's Danny doing?
He saved so much bundling home and auto with the personal price plan that he got excited.
Bundle is live!
And bundled football with football.
Bundle, amigo! You got bundle! Bundle is live!
Field goal!
Bundle and save with the personal price plan. Field goal.
So do you kick it or pass it?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Question. If you can't see what's behind all this, how do you already know? It's Jeep. The same way you know if a T-Rex is chasing a Jeep Wrangler.
He's getting away.
And if you can limit screen time while expanding it, you just know. Because when you're an original, there's only one.
Right now, get $3,000 bonus cash allowance or get 0% financing on most 2024 Jeep Wrangler gas-powered models. Jeep, there's only one.
You want to be a lifeguard.
Rescue.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Welcome back to Bloomington. What a beautiful day. Sunny and cool. Start of the second quarter. IU 6-0. Taking on the 5-1 Nebraska Cornhuskers. Their only loss coming to Illinois in overtime. That's a game they'd love to have back.
I mean, they had open guys late. Mistakes in the kicking game. Certainly could make an argument Nebraska should be undefeated.
First down to the 25. Rourke delivers. And caught at midfield. Nice adjustment in midair by Elijah Surratt. He's their leading receiver.
And this is that back shoulder fade that Coach Meyer was talking about on Big Noon Kickoff. They do it as well as anybody. And that's a beautiful throw. And the route is what's most important, Gus. You've got to run it hard so that the quarterback has the option to go back shoulder.
That's a 28-yard gain, and they'll keep it on the ground. Lawton, how about Elijah Surratt? He's played at 3 different schools, but coming off the Northwestern game, 7 catches, 135 yards. He's got 29 catches coming into this game for 513 yards and 2 touchdowns. Third school in 3 years. Stellar campaigns everywhere he's gone. 42 catches at St. Francis is where he started. James Madison, and now IU. 2nd and 6 at the 43. Justice Ellison in the backfield. Play fake. Rourke winds up down the field. And it's caught inside the 10. What a throw. Kurt the Kid. 35-yard completion to Omar Cooper.
And Cooper's one of the only guys that is an Indiana guy from a year ago. And how about this? With the contact from Buford right in his chest, he goes up and makes that catch. Beautiful job.
1st and goal at the 7. Can Indiana pay it off to the wide side? Touchdown IU. Miles Price. Indiana moving and grooving to take a 13-0 lead.
And the ball is always in the right spot. This is another RPO. So as the corner blitzes, Buford comes in and Rourke just replaces the blitz with the ball. He's on the outside. There's nobody left, and it's a touchdown for Miles Price. Another one of these transfers with a tremendous amount of production at his previous stop, Texas Tech. He had played in 42 games, Gus, and had 1,700 yards of receiving in his career at Texas Tech. That's the type of guy Curt Cignetti wanted to bring here.
Radicic in for the extra point. And it's good. 6 plays covering 88 yards in just 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Is Indiana for real? I don't know. Ask Nebraska. Hoosiers on top at home.
From this can't miss moment to this hello new grandpa moment to that whatever this is moment. Your moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older, or 60 or older with certain chronic conditions, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. You have options. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine. Because moments like these matter.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your school's saying first before saying it.
High tide. High tide, guys. High tide. High tide. High tide. High tide.
It's roll tide.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Soft drinks are just $1 at Wendy's. Any size, anytime. 3 p.m. Fanta, 10 p.m. Sprite, 7:46 a.m. Coke. Yeah, you're built different. Dollar soft drinks, any size, gotta be Wendy's.
I'm the richest guy in the world.
I have time to give.
I have people I can count on.
And a million stories to share.
The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Sunday on Fox, it's a Super Bowl rematch. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Brock Purdy and the Niners.
For the touchdown!
America's Game of the Week. Sunday on Fox, home of Super Bowl 59.
Pacific Life Game Summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Here's where we're at. Indiana all over Nebraska here, beginning stages of the second quarter, 14-0. Raiola's 5 of 9 for 29 yards, but their one quality series ended in that fumble on 4th down from Dante Dowdell. And Curtis Rourke has been sensational. 11 of 12 so far, a touchdown and 130 yards. He has been Kurt the Kid, as you've been calling him, Gus. He's been terrific so far.
Ramir Johnson back deep. Quinn Warren will send it away. And let's go downstairs, where moments ago our Jenny Taft had a chance to catch up with Coach Signetti.
Well, Coach, a huge stop from your defense to end the quarter there. How would you evaluate the way you guys have started this game?
Go down the field, score a touchdown. They made a mistake on the kickoff. We had good field position, couldn't capitalize. Missed the protection, had a guy wide open on 4th and 2. We foregoed the field goal because of the wind, and it was crosswind too, right hash. We got a big stop there. So if we can do something on this drive, it'll be a big boost.
Thanks for the time.
That's exactly what they did. Capped off that drive with the touchdown, and now a 2-score lead.
Nebraska running it on 1st down. That's a 5-yard gain.
Well, this is the biggest deficit this young quarterback has faced, and now Dylan Raiola, in only his 2nd road start of his career, he's got to calm this team down and lead them down and get a score here. This is a vital drive for this Nebraska team and an opportunity to hopefully for them rest their defense.
2nd and 5 at the 30. This is Emmett Johnson. And he's stopped by Aiden Fisher, who transferred from James Madison as well. Aiden Fisher, the middle linebacker, captain of the defense. Jalen Walker both played at JMU last year. Side by side. Raiola dumps it off. He's got his man. And that's close to a 1st down as well. Nice running after the catch by Jalen Lloyd, the sophomore from Omaha.
And I love the changeup here. They've gone to the fast tempo. They're again right back at the line of scrimmage, ready to snap the football.
Little wrinkle here. 2nd and 1 at the 44. Emmett Johnson, the tailback. They'll give it to him. 1st down. Fisher, first man to him.
A guy I would watch out for here on this drive as they're trying to go faster and get a little wrinkle. Watch out for something clever with number 17, Ja'Cory Barney. He's probably their most electric player in space. He's the slot player at the top of your screen, freshman from Miami.
1st down at the 46. Raiola drops it off. His man has a blocker, Emmett Johnson. Flag on the play. Let's see. Indiana says it's against the Huskers.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is going to be a block in the back out there on the outside. I think that was Jamal Banks, number 4.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 4. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
There's Banks, clear block in the back on Johnson up there. And that'll back them up. They have struggled on the outside with blocking. Coaches lamenting that their wide receivers have not done a great job blocking down the field in the run game or even in the screen game. And that's evidence of just being a little overzealous there on the outside for Matt Rule.
1st down and a long 19 at the 37. Here's a handoff, and they'll go nowhere. Terrific pressure up the middle for this Indiana team. It's number 99, James Carpenter.
So you get a lot of good penetration right in here from this defensive line, right up the middle. And Carpenter is a guy also, Gus, broken record. Where's he from last year? JMU. All these experienced players coming in. Coach Signetti knew they could play. Carpenter's one of them. Big tackle there.
2nd down and 21 at the 35. Raiola with time all day. Lofts it up and caught. Beautiful feathered pass to Fedoni. A 1st down for the Cornhuskers.
I tell you, this is what makes him so special. So here's Fedoni, and he looks like he's covered, but Raiola does a great job, and exactly as you described it, Gus, feathers it right over the defense to Fedoni, and it's a 1st down.
1st down at the 40. Raiola to the sideline this time, and he throws another dime. This time, it's Banks, but there is a flag on the play.
Like someone jumped there. Free play down the field.
Offside. Defense number 92. The penalties decline. The play results in a first down.
How big was that throw to Fedoni? And Gus, when I'm watching, like, that's what you don't normally see from a true freshman. That takes instincts and a real knowledge of how to play the position at a high level, is to feather that ball over the defender like that. A lot of times you would see a young quarterback try to use his arm strength and throw it too hard and too high.
First down and 10 of the 21 after the 19-yard gain. Here's a reverse. Do they want to throw it? No, they're going to run it. Nair can't get outside. Indiana sitting on that play. Sean Asbury with the tackle. That's a loss of 7.
Look over here, you got defenders and their eyes are just in the backfield, so they don't over pursue to their left, offense is right. They just continue to be right there, and Asbury rolls up. He's a transfer from Old Dominion. At Old Dominion, he was all Sun Belt, 125 tackles in his career.
Also Boston College he played. 2nd and 17 at the 28. Cornhuskers need to pay this one off with a touchdown. Raiola. And a flag.
I mean, I was wondering to myself, like, they're going to throw a flag, right? I mean, watch Banks. He just gets tackled by D'Angelo Pons. Watch Pons. He's just working, and he's just like, I'll just take him down. It's like, how many flags can we throw?
Pass interference. Defense number 21. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
You know, and that's one of those flags that, as a coach, Kurt Cignetti is just going to be so frustrated with, because they had him behind the chain, 2nd and long, didn't need to do that. Pons just needs to play quality defense. You don't have to tackle him out of bounds, and in particular, give him a free first down.
First down and 10 at the IU 17 for the Cornhuskers. Raiola, quick toss, and it's Barney. Follow the block, gets close to the 10-yard line, gain about 6.
Now, this is when you see Nebraska start to use a lot of their misdirection. And so what you're going to start to see now that they're inside the 15-yard line is that they're going to try to get the defense rolling one direction and then slide, whether it's a tight end, a back, or a slot back, out from the backside of the offense. They use that misdirection a lot in this area of the field.
2nd down and 4 at the 11. Ramir Johnson standing next to Raiola. They'll give it to him, running right, and he'll pick up a first. Stopped by Terry Jones Jr. after a 5-yard gain.
Offensive line doing a nice job on that play. And this has been a heck of an answer, and a couple of situations where they've been behind the sticks and been able to convert. One via penalty, the other that great throw to Fedoni. But Matt Rule's got to be thrilled with the way his offense has answered on this series.
New quarterback in the game. Harburg. He'll run it. Trying to get outside, and he's dragged down quickly. D'Angelo Pons. What an open field tackle. A loss of 1.
And Pons does a great job, but watch Fedoni here, 24. He needs to make this block, and he doesn't. He's right there. Make the block, and it's a touchdown, and Pons just rolls up right into the legs of Harburg and makes the tackle. Great aggressiveness from Pons, but a clear miss from Fedoni in the open field.
So that brings up 2nd down and goal at the 7. 13th play of the drive. Here's a handoff. Barney, touchdown, Cornhuskers. Ja'Cory Barney, little misdirection, maybe a counter play, and Nebraska gets on the board.
Well, here he is lined up right here. You don't normally see a guy 170 pounds lined up like that as like an H-back. You know something's up. They just give it to him. Little jet sweep. Good block this time by Fedoni, 24. He gets his man, and Barney walks in.
So Nebraska with the chance to cut the Indiana lead to 7 with 7:40 to go in the second quarter. As we mentioned, kicking has been an odyssey for this team, but the extra point is good. 13-play drive covering 75 yards. They eat up 5 minutes and 57 seconds, 14-7 IU. But here come the Cornhuskers.
This is the hotel breakfast.
It looked different online.
Do you children like eggs? Here, they make your bones grow.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Bye, guys. Look alive.
Is it fine, Daryl?
I'm starving.
When free hot breakfast can make or break your day, it matters where you stay.
Go get 'em.
Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Dr. Pepper is celebrating Fansville college football. It's a Pepper thing. Right now it's an Indiana thing. Hoosiers looking great. 10 plays, 75 yards. They eat up 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Nebraska has given up 2 rushing touchdowns today. Hadn't given up any before this game. And when you look at this Indiana offense, you're seeing a lot of balance between the pass and the run.
And that comes into play because of Curtis Rourke's decision making. You know, they put a lot on his plate as a veteran player and quarterback, and he's made great decisions so far today.
That one kicked into the end zone for a touchback. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt, partner. IU.
Yeah.
This is the real deal.
No, there's no question. This is not a facade. This is not fake. This is not an easy schedule. This is a really good football coach that has a bunch of experienced players that know how to play. Like, they're a problem for the rest of the Big Ten, and Curt Cignetti knows it. And you're seeing it here today in this first half. This offense is very difficult to stop because of the balance you're talking about and the decision-making of the quarterback, Curtis Rourke.
First down and 10 at the 25. Nebraska with the completion, but no gain on the play. Terrific job. Barney with the reception, but he's dropped immediately by Terry Jones Jr.
I think that the question for Indiana is, what is their ceiling? Well, today they have led for now 20 minutes over Nebraska, who had not trailed very much in their first 6 games, only 15 total minutes. And their ceiling, to me, is going to come down to how well their defense plays.
Raiola drops it off. Johnson trying to square his shoulders, breaks the tackle, but finally gets thrown down by Amari Farrell after a 3-yard gain.
And the reason I say that, Gus, that the pressure is actually more on their defense is because a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And while that sounds like a cut down, it's not. It's just an acknowledgement that that offense is clearly the strongest part of their team. So whatever their defense can do, in particular like getting off the field in a situation like this and getting another possession to end the half, this is where the defense has to pull its own weight.
That front seven may pin their ears back here. 3rd down and 7. Raiola goes through his progressions off his back foot, thrown too tall for Jamal Banks, incomplete. Sean Asbury covering, and now Raiola limping off the field. Hopefully he can walk that off.
When he's in the pocket, when he kind of throws off his back foot, watch his left foot. It kind of like under him. See how, or excuse me, his right foot. Did you see how he almost turned his ankle on his back foot, and he immediately reaches down and then limps off the field? A big reason why that throw was so errant is that right ankle as he's just trying to step. I don't think he was even contacted, Gus. It just kind of rolled out from underneath him.
And that was the first 3 and out for either team. As the Huskers send it away, Miles Price, the deep man. He's got it and gobbled up immediately. Terrific special teams play. A 45-yard punt. Sierra Wright with the tackle on special teams. Let's go downstairs to JT.
Well, we saw the bleeding from Curtis Rourke's right thumb. What I can tell you on the sideline, it appeared the medical staff did glue the thumb. It looked like almost the nail chipped potentially. It's now wrapped with that black bandage. Curious how that impacts his touch. Now, guys, I'm going to find out what's going on with Raiola.
All right, Jen, thank you. My quarterback, what takes place when you bang up your thumb like that?
Well, I mean, honestly, there's nothing good. That is, I think, one of the worst injuries you can have, in particular of a nicky-knack nature. And what you've got to do is you've got to throw with velocity. The more you try to throw with touch, the less you're going to feel the football. Throw the ball hard when your hand hurts. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the way you get through it.
First down and 10 at the 26. Rourke in trouble. Breaks contain with a nice move, and he'll cross the 30. Up to the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. A 6-yard gain. Javen Wright with the tackle. That may take us to the 2-minute timeout. Indiana with 2 timeouts left. And they won't get it off in time. 2-minute timeout. Indiana with a 21-7 lead and the football. What a day in Bloomington. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Discover, the official credit card of the Big Ten Conference.
Indiana still yet to trail for 1 second this season. They're up 21-7. Rob Stone here with you. Coming up on the State Farm halftime. Number 6 Miami fell behind early, then turned it on against Louisville. Number 10 Clemson looking to keep things going. And how about 23rd ranked Army, guys, looking for a 7-0 start. All the guys, we'll see you coming up at the half.
Thank you, Rob. Both the academies, Army and Navy, doing some good work this season.
Oh, I mean,
tell you what,
better than good. Army, they've won every game by at least 17 points, and they've got the number 2 scoring defense in the country. I mean, think about that. Army.
2nd down and 4 at the 32. And they'll hand it off. Lawton with space, still on the move with a burst, and he'll go down at the 40. John Bullock with the tackle, but that's a 29-yard gain. Now, Indiana starting to bump and thump.
Great job by the offensive line up front. And Rourke is just perfectly making these decisions of when to run, when to throw. Again, that's very much in his hands. And now all of a sudden, all these explosive plays, 5 plays of 20 or more yards for Indiana.
1st down and 10. Rourke guns it, and it's caught. And this time it's Miles Price.
He was still shaking his hand after that one, and it was a bit low, so that his ability to throw the ball accurately is going to come into question.
2nd down and short. They'll hand it off. Ellison cuts it back. Touchdown, Indiana. 31 yards. Wow. The Hoosiers smacking around Nebraska here at Memorial. Radicic for the extra point. And it's good. Kurt Cignetti. Look at his team. 28-7 over the Cornhuskers.
I want you to take a look at the center, Mike Kadick. He gets 2 linebackers on this one. First, Bullock comes on the blitz, hits him, bam. Then he gets Javin Wright. Again, he comes off that, bam. He gets the 2nd block. 2 blocks in 1 play by the center after the snap. Mike Kadick springs Justice Ellison, who does the rest. Beautiful job up front. Nice cutback from Ellison. And this IU offense, man, I tell you what, try to stop them. This is one of the best offenses in the country. You think their number 2 offense in the country is a fluke? Absolutely not.
Mike Kadick, 28th start. He started 27 games at left guard prior to this season. Indiana with 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen as returners. Not a lot of transfers on that O-line. They were here before. And Dylan Raiola's got a mountain to climb. 4 plays, 74 yards. IU scoring in 1 minute and 17 seconds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
Let's go downstairs to Jen.
And we saw Dylan Raiola limp off the field. Well, he basically took about 2 seconds to shake out that right ankle, and he was immediately back to watching film. No concern for the Nebraska QB as he looks for a response before the half.
Well, the only positive thing for Nebraska right now is that if they can get a score here, they get the kick to start the 2nd half, Gus. So there's a chance you could cut this all the way to 28-21, but only if they move quickly and get this ball down the field in a hurry.
1st down to the 35. Raiola looking, buys time, and he'll just throw it out of bounds. Closest man to the football, Ramir Johnson, with 1:01 to go.
And the secondary has done a heck of a job. Nobody open down the field. I thought maybe Jamal Banks was going to pop open, but he was immediately clamped down on. This secondary, which was a weakness for Indiana, and admittedly so by their coaching staff. They have played well today.
2nd down and 10 at the 35. Raiola looking, under pressure. Completes it at the 40-yard line, a 5-yard gain for Johnson. But D'Angelo Pons is there.
They got to take a timeout. What are they doing? You either got to go quickly. It's not a first down. They desperately need a score here. I don't understand why they're taking so much time. They've got 2 timeouts. That was the time to take one.
3rd down and 5 at the 40. Raiola steps up. Sidearm throw incomplete. And a flag. Looks like it was thrown late. Johnson the target. Linnell Carr Jr. defensively. Oh, no flag on the play. And the Nebraska offense goes off the field. Indiana could get another shot at it with 29 seconds to go.
That is just not what you wanted out of their last series there. You needed to get down there in a hurry.
Miles Price, the deep man. Buschini sends it off. This one trickles out of bounds. And Indiana will start from the 34. A 26-yard punt. The kicking game, just a major problem right now for Nebraska.
Yep, and that was a bad snap and almost was blocked. Indiana was aggressive trying to come after that punt. Almost got to it. And now with good field position, and you're talking about a couple of timeouts, you've got veterans all over the field. Like, why not? Why not go after this and feel like you can create some big plays? They've created big plays the entire day.
I'll tell you what, offensive coordinator Mike Shanahan calling a good first half for IU.
Yeah, Mike Shanahan has been with Cignetti this whole stint through Elon and JMU and now here at Indiana. So this guy knows what his head coach wants. And something tells me with 2 timeouts, even 25 seconds, they're going to test the waters here with the first play, see if they can get something to pop.
First down at the 34. Rourke. And he completes it. Price. Nice run after the catch as he crosses the 40 up to about the 43. An 8-yard gain on the play. Isaac Gifford defensively for Big Red.
And they take a quick timeout, and now you've got a timeout left. You've got 16 seconds. You're just trying to look to potentially get into field goal range.
Where do they need to go?
Now, that's a difficult one because Radicic has not attempted many long field goals. In fact, his long is only 37 yards, but Gus, he's perfect on the year. He's didn't miss a kick, whether it's a field goal or a PAT coming into today.
He's 4 for 4 for field goals on the season.
Again, but short ones. I was watching before the game and pregame, and I thought he was pretty good up to about 51, 52. That means that they would need to get the ball to about the 34, 33-yard line, right around there, which at this point you need 20 yards. Right around there, and you can certainly get that with a timeout in 16 seconds. You got to think that you've got at least 3 snaps in you, and maybe a 4th if you can work the clock properly.
2nd down and 2 at the 42. Rourke testing that thumb out. Fires deep. And batted away. Hartzog. Covered a lot of ground. Miles Price the target.
Taking a big shot down the field for Miles Price, and Hartzog was right there. He just goes up and bats that ball away, but I love the aggressive nature. Why not take a shot? Again, they need about 20 yards now in 9 seconds. Now it's a lot more difficult, but with that timeout, you can still work the middle of the field. And that's exactly where I would work. I would work a big, deep in cut from the far side, or excuse me, the wide side of the field. That's where you're going to be able to get the most yards. 3rd down and 2 at the 42. Rourke
winds up, sideline throw. And this will be Cross, who goes down inbounds, a gain of 6, first down.
Now you got to just heave it to the end zone. And to be honest, I don't know if Rourke can get it that far with that thumb injury. You know, that ball that he threw down the field on this series to Price, it kind of hung.
And they say he stepped out of bounds. So the clock stopping with 3 seconds to go. But Curtis Rourke, he's been brilliant here in this first half. 17 of 20, 189 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, a long of 36 yards. His rating, 180.9.
Have a day. Have a first half. And again, this is what I saw on tape coming into today. Like it didn't matter who they were playing. It's all very efficient. They're very well coached. And when we talked to him yesterday, Gus, I loved when we were talking with Curt Cignetti and we talked about like, well, what is it? And he said, I have a very high standard and I'm a stickler for the standard. And that's what he learned through his years of whether it was playing for his dad who, you know, got his start under Bobby Bowden, or whether it was playing when Nick Saban was on the staff at West Virginia, or then ultimately coaching for Nick Saban in his first 4 years at Alabama when Nick was building what became the greatest, you know, dynasty in college football history at Alabama. He understood that the expectation has to be incredibly high, and then you cannot budge off of that. And he doesn't budge. And I tell you, man, I love the way that they play.
I loved talking to him yesterday, and I said, who's your mentor? He said, me.
You said, who do you call? You know, like in a tough spot, get some advice. And he looks for a second, he paused. He says, myself.
That's right.
I was like, okay, here we go. Giddy up, Curt Cignetti. Google me, he said.
That's right. And we did. And the world will continue to Google him if this team continues to play this way. First down. Here's Rourke looking for the long ball. Sets up, fires it deep, and intercepted at the 5-yard line by Hartzell. And he'll go down at the 35, and that'll take us to the end of the first half. But what a good one for IU. That quarterback rating will go down a little bit for Kurt the Kid. IU, 343 yards of offense already. Most Nebraska has given up this year. 381 to Illinois. 28-7 the score. The State Farm Halftime Show coming up right here from Bloomington.
Bundele Save.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. What's going on here?
Coach saves so much bundling home and auto with the personal price plan, you decide to bundle practice with ballet.
Bundele Save.
Doesn't that just say bundle and save?
Hey, Hutch, less talky, more dancey. Double time. Boodle-ay, sabe, boodle-ay, sabe.
Bundle and save with the personal price plan.
I want to see that on game day.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
2 more college football games to come today on Fox, both courtesy of the Big 12. Colorado at Arizona, that one's up next. And then number 17, Kansas State, hits the road and travels to West Virginia at 7:30 Eastern. Curtis Rourke's 15th touchdown pass of the year found Miles Price. That made it 14-0. It's currently 28-7 IU at the break. And we welcome you back to the State Farm College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Indiana now just 30 minutes away from an improbable 7-0 start. Welcome back to the Halftime Show. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart, the coach Urban Meyer here with you. Curt Cignetti, he made an immediate statement when at his introductory press conference he quipped, I win, Google me. And he's winning again because of the things we spoke of in the pregame, Coach, as we see in our State Farm halftime highlights.
Yeah, Brady, welcome to the back shoulder capital of the world here. He's 3 in the first half. And again, the back shoulder, like we talked about in the playbook, he's putting the ball, Curtis is, away from the defender. There's only one person going to make these plays, and that's the receiver. 3 in the first half. And I'm telling you, very rarely do you see a team on tape and then you come out and watch them, they look exactly the same. Offensively and defensively, they do the little things right, whether it's perimeter blocking. I watch the defense, they're fitting right thing. That might be the best coach team right now in the Big Ten. It's fun to watch, and what's interesting too, Scott Dolson, the AD here for 33 years, he's been part of the program. I looked at him, I said, I've been here many times. It's like this when we were here, but it's all Buckeye fans.
Yeah.
Now this is a real home field advantage at a great place.
No doubt about it. And if you had any concerns coming out the bye week, would they get off to a slow start? That was not the case. Out the gate, this team took the football, drove all the way down the field, and you get a sense and feel of the fact of what they want to do pre-snap. They're going to shift. They're going to motion. They're going to give you a bunch formation. They're going to spread you out. They do so many different things. It stresses the defense and makes their defenders play in space. And Curtis Rourke has been able to operate very efficiently so far in this first half within the offense. And Ellison has been able to go off and find extra yards too in the running game. But right now, it feels like Indiana really can't do anything wrong offensively. They're putting so much pressure on the Nebraska defense. The offensive line's been good in protection. So the only concern is the thumb for Curtis Rourke. Got banged up. We kind of saw at the end of the half that Hail Mary throw. It gets picked off. He kind of wiped that way off the stats, but that's a little bit of a concern, I think, moving on to the second half for IU.
Yeah, Brady, you mentioned the first drive and how critical that was. To me, on that first drive, the aggressiveness of their head coach, Kurt Cignetti, to go for it on fourth down in the red zone, not kick the field goal, but to go for it on 4th and 2 and convert. Here it is right here. Great conversion. I love the mentality. You go in and you punch it in for a touchdown. That aggressiveness shows the players, I believe you. It shows the fans, like, here, we're here, we mean business. It shows the other team that we're not here to play around. We're not here to play no games. So I think that aggressiveness, that aggressive mentality is why it's 28-7. And that aggressive mentality has translated to their running back, Justice Ellison. He is toting that tighter. He's running real aggressively, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 yards a carry.
He got that wiggle like you, man.
He got a little
I think on the flip side for Nebraska's offense, we talked about in the pregame just how difficult it is to move the ball against Indiana's defense. And if they can, especially down the red zone, convert. And they're 1 for 2. They had the early fumble, and then they had the touchdown. But I'll tell you what, Brady, you talked about Indiana's defense in the pregame show, getting after Dylan Raiola and how he would handle this pressure. He's been all over the place. They're hitting him. He looks inaccurate. He hasn't made a lot of plays. And down 28-7, this Nebraska offense is not built to have these big plays and an explosive offense. That's the challenge. How do they get back into this game against a defense that doesn't allow anybody to move the ball on them?
Nebraska just 133 yards of total offense, 29 on the ground. Number 6, Miami, 6-0 for the first time since 2017, but their last 2 games have been nail-biters. Canes in Louisville today, and Cam Ward putting up some early numbers. First quarter, Miami down 7-3. Cam Ward.
He's got all day.
Jacoby George.
Whoa, Cam.
10-7 lead.
Laser show. That's what it is when Cam Ward's out there, boys.
Second quarter, more from Ward, this time to Sam Brown Jr., a 49-yard strike.
Louisville have a pass rush?
Cam. Whoa, Cam.
Cam Ward, 9 of 15, 143, 2 touchdowns so far. Isaac Brown with the fumble.
Oh.
Can't do that.
Fumbaruski.
Miami recovers 24-17. Virginia on the road at 10th-ranked Clemson. Cade Klubnik with a game tied at 3, and he is picked.
I mean, I know who he was intending to throw to. That was still going to be a bad ball regardless.
Second quarter, Virginia takes the lead. Oh, Dakota Twitty from 8 yards out.
Virginia with something to say about it.
Umama up the middle from 3 yards out, his second score of the game. Clemson on top, 17-10 at the break. Oklahoma hosting South Carolina. 14-0 Gamecocks. Michael Hawkins Jr. under pressure, and he is picked.
Oh,
don't say it. Don't say it.
Could it be, Coach?
Say it.
Pick 6. I'm not
Coach, give it to us.
Pick 6.
Nick Emanwari, his second pick of the game. Gamecocks now up 24-0. East Carolina at 23rd ranked Army. Those ballistics feel awfully close, by the way. Speaking of ballistics, Army running all over East Carolina.
Do you see that spin
Bryson
there,
Daly,
Stoker?
103 yards on the ground already. Wisconsin at Northwestern, 7-0 Badgers. Little fumble recovered by Elijah Hills. Wisconsin takes over. And you know what that leads to? Cade.
Little flip play. We love that. Race to the pylon.
14-0 Wisconsin.
Wisconsin on their way to 5-2, boys.
Staying in the Big Ten, Rutgers struggling as of late. UCLA in town. Ethan Garber scrambles and has got himself a nice little move.
Look at that move. You didn't know how to hit him, did you? Oh, up the sideline.
No. And look at that score.
Oh, tiptoe Joe up the sideline for the
21-10. Arizona State. There's only one guy the guys want to hear from in Arizona State, but they're not going to get it. Brendan Sorsby takes the handoff, ties things up at 7.
My boy Scatterboo at, man.
Cincy up 10-7 in the second. Evan Pryor, 55-yard touchdown run.
This is a Cincinnati highlight, not so much Arizona State in this. Remember, Sam Levitt out, the starting quarterback. Jeff Sims in. Not looking good so far.
No Scatterboo?
He's there. He's just struggling.
Maybe in the post-game show, Mark. Next Saturday, big noon. We are live from Columbus as 4th-ranked Ohio State, coming off that narrow defeat at Oregon, takes on this Nebraska team next Saturday. Big noon kickoff, 10 a.m. Eastern, live on Fox from Columbus, Ohio. And the best of today, Brady, did you even know what you were doing right there?
He asked me to sign his forehead.
By the way, that wasn't even the best of the day. I'll leave it at that.
This was pretty good. Mark starting the show in an IndyCar. Joey Chestnut.
I've never seen
hit that man some dental floss.
Hey, you ain't seen your boy.
And then a legend, John Mellencamp.
Where did he used to live?
By the
Did
way,
he live somewhere?
Dropping an F-bomb on live TV. That was awesome.
What is the weirdest place you've ever signed? Was it the forehead?
No. Let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it at the forehead.
He,
just say yes.
He had fans reaching over the glass for him today. A little older. It was interesting.
All right, let's bring it back to football, if you don't mind. The Hoosiers have now outscored the opposition in the first half, 174-55. That is plus 119. Coach, you're Signetti in the locker room. Everything has gone right for you in the first half. How are you addressing your troops coming into the second 30 minutes?
I'll tell you, after studying him and hearing about him this last year, in the last 6-7 weeks, he's very methodical in everything he does. I can imagine it's all about the game. It's not the hoopla. It's not your head. It's 0-0. Let's go about. He's a very meticulated, gathered guy, and he's going to have a plan for everything.
He's going to keep his foot on the gas. I can promise you that. But it's really, to me, about Nebraska. What adjustments did they make? And you can't get away from running the football. They've got to stay balanced. You can't put this all on Dylan Raiola's shoulders at this point. I don't know if they have the firepower, but it's got to be one drive, one play at a time. You're not going to be able to win it just in one throw. So make sure you calm down the freshman and try to find your way of running the football back in this game.
And again, just 29 yards rushing so far for Nebraska. Justin Ellison having no problems running the ball, scampered in from 31 out for his second score of the day. 343 yards of offense already from IU. They're up 21.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. But the money I saved, thought I'd get a wax figure myself. Oh, right in the temporal lobe. Beat it, punks! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Introducing KFC's original recipe tenders, made with the secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, which perfectly pairs with our zesty new comeback sauce. Just $5 for 3 tenders, fries, and comeback sauce. Let the feast begin.
Sunday on Fox, the stage is set for a Super Bowl rematch.
Find a way to get a win.
Patrick Mahomes leads the undefeated Chiefs
Turn it up a notch.
against Brock Purdy and the Niners.
For the touchdown.
America's Game of the Week, Sunday on Fox, home of Super Bowl 59.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Welcome back to Bloomington, Indiana, Memorial Stadium, where the Indiana Hoosiers lead the Nebraska Cornhuskers 28-7 as we head into the second half. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt. Let's just say it right now. Curtis Rourke. You got to put him up there. And he has to be in contention for the Heisman Trophy.
Okay.
I'm going there right now.
All right. I've got to button up with something like that.
Yeah, you better button up. I mean, if the season ended today, who would be the offensive MVP in the Big Ten.
Well, with this first half performance, you would have to have Curtis Rourke in that conversation. So to that extent, you're absolutely right. He's been fantastic. And listen, let's take a look at the next level moments from the first half. Sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. And Gus, it hasn't just been Rourke, but it's been his decision-making that has allowed the run game to get going. Ellison has been terrific here early. The defense has been outstanding. This was a fourth down. Jacob Magnum-Farrar comes up with the fumble recovery, but then the decision-making again on the outside from Rourke. He finds a touchdown. Nebraska tried to keep this one close in the first half, but Tyson Lawton goes in from 1 yard out. Ellison, a 31-yard rush TD. They've been explosive. They've thrown the ball well. They've rushed the ball well, all stemmed by their quarterback, who's been terrific for them. Our first half check-in is sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Gus, 343 total yards to only 133 for Nebraska. And this is against, to your point, my man, a top 10 scoring defense in college football.
That ball bobbled, but Nebraska will pick up some positive yards. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Well, I started by asking Curt Cignetti about his quarterback, Curtis Rourke. He said he was very impressed by that first half. And as for the thumb, he said he's fine. And as for that interception, he looked at me and said, I'm not worried about stats. We had a chance to score there. How we start this second half will be crucial. Now, I asked Coach Rule how to get the run game going, only 29 rush yards. He looked at me, Gus, with a big sigh and said, honestly, not much went our way in the first half. We cannot look up at the scoreboard. This second half is about figuring out who Nebraska football is with a response.
All right, Jen, first down from the 27 for Iola. He completes the pass, but they don't go anywhere because Aiden Fisher jumped on Isaiah Nair immediately.
This game can be boiled down to which offensive line has played better. You know, Nebraska has had an inability to run the football very well. You know, Dowdell is only running it for 2.5 per carry. Harburg comes in only 3.5. Like, they just haven't had much. Meanwhile, Indiana's offensive line has owned the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it again, and a little running room. Something interesting happened in our meeting yesterday. It was kind of funny. Talking to Aiden Fisher, he's a tough guy, number 4, middle linebacker. He said his sisters, Kylie and Addison, aren't going to watch his game today, Joel, for an interesting reason.
Well, he said he was definitely going to lose this one. He said they're in Miami for the Taylor Swift concert.
His sister said, hey, big bro, we're not messing with you today. We're going to see Taylor. 3rd down and 2 in Miami at the 35. Raiola looking for that first down, and I believe he will have it. Emmett Johnson steps out of bounds. He's right near the marker, and it should be a first down for the Huskers.
Well, it's an imperative series that Nebraska has some success here, and if you're Dylan Raiola and this offense, what worked in the first half was their ability to get a little quick tempo. Their one scoring drive, they went a little bit quicker, and then they got some misdirection things going, and once they do that, then they can get down the seams of the defense with their tight end Fedoni in the passing game.
First down at the 37. They fire far side, caught. Not a lot of room over there this time. Barney is brought down by Jameer Johnson.
I also think Nebraska has got to get to some screen game. If you notice the amount of pressure and upfield pressure Indiana's defensive line has put on Dylan Raiola, well, you got to use that aggressiveness against them a little bit. Look for some screens here from Nebraska in this third quarter to try to move the ball down the field.
2nd down and 5. Straight ahead, Johnson. Stood up. D'Angelo Pons, first man to him, 3-yard gain.
Got to stay on the field here. This is when they have just really struggled protecting Raiola, and he's had to hold the ball with nobody open. The coverage has been tremendous on these third downs. You wonder if they stick to the run. And is it 4-down territory? Is this a position where Matt Rule says, no, we're not coming off the field, we need to score?
3rd down and 2. Dante Dowdell, the lone setback. They'll give it to him, and he'll pick up the first. Fisher sticking his nose in there.
Man, I know that's a first down, and it's a good play for Nebraska, but man, Fisher is just such a good player. It's tough to talk about what makes a linebacker a quality linebacker, but a lot of it is instinct and then the ability to fix mistakes in front of you. And on that play, he actually jumped over a gap, Gus. And it's called scraping over the top, and he was there to make the tackle.
First down to the 47, though, for Nebraska. Here's Raiola in trouble. Raiola's got to get rid of it. And he just throws it out of bounds. Terry Jones Jr. in the backfield going right at Dylan Raiola. Brings up 2nd and 10.
When you know you're going to get a pressure and you're trying to boot into it, the fake has to be incredible. And that fake wasn't even close. So that's a young player that needs to learn that the fake is important. He's got to go over there and really extend that ball over to that back in order to get that player who's blitzing from the front side to squeeze down so that then you can boot out around him.
Remember, he's 19 years old, true freshman, starting at quarterback at Nebraska. A lot of pressure. 2nd down and 10 at the 47 underneath. And it's caught by Fedoni, his tight end, and he's just running over people. Ground and pound there after he makes the catch. He'll gain 22. Fisher again with the tackle.
He's probably their best offensive threat. I think Barney probably presents the best threat from a wiggle perspective and the ability to carry the football and make people miss. But Fedoni is their most consistent pass catcher on the outside. We just haven't seen Banks and Nayer really do anything today.
Fedoni with 5 catches for 63 yards. First down at the 30-yard line. Raiola with the handoff to Johnson, and he's knocked backwards. I tell you what, these red shirts are everywhere. Jalen Walker, first man to him, loss of 2.
So Raiola sees that this is going on, and he tried to call his wide receiver down to get the block, but he's too late. You see he's trying to get there, so now the lineman has to gobble up the blitzer, and then the second level is free to make the tackle. That's a situation where they don't have the ability to make Raiola right post-snap, and he's trying to get them in the right play before the snap, but that's not working.
2nd and 12 at the 32. Raiola off his back foot again. Underneath, he has his man, Barney. And Barney at the 30-yard line goes down. Amari Farrell, again, a 5-yard gain.
Man, I tell you what, this defense just continues to rally up and make the tackles. They don't give up the big play. I do think this is 4-down territory. I won't be surprised here if they run the football. They don't trust their kicking game, and they're down 3 scores with the clock ticking quite a lot.
They'll try to get half of it here, if not all of it. 3rd and 7 at the 27. Here's a handoff. Johnson, first down, and Johnson carrying defenders with him. Emmett Johnson stopped by Asbury, but it's a gain of 11.
They need to stay in those condensed formations, those bunch sets, I would say. Like you're seeing, this is more of a spread set, right? But they have an inability to block the edges. These players in support right here, they're making it difficult.
First down. They'll throw it out quickly to the wide side. Barney trying to make a man miss. We'll gain a yard on the play. Farrell again defensively for the Hoosiers.
Gus, what do I always talk about with the best defenses out there when we're doing these games over the years? What do the great defenses do? They tackle well in space. And that's what you've seen from Indiana on a few different occasions. There's their defensive coordinator, Bryant Haynes, who's also been with Curt Cignetti through a couple of different stops.
13th play of the drive. Another run. Johnson trying to get outside, and he will not. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Lionel Carr Jr., excuse me, with the stop.
Well, I'm going to watch the edge right here. So what the edge has to do is he's got to come up, and he can't allow the play to bounce outside of him. And he doesn't. And he's right there, and he's able to make the stop along with some of his teammates. Good coaching, man. They're just fundamentally sound. An excellent job by Lionel Carr there.
3rd and 8. At the 13. Raiola with time to the sideline, incomplete. That one thrown a little bit wide for Emmett Johnson out of the backfield, and he was covered by Jalen Walker.
Well, you better have your best play call here because they're not kicking it. Matt Rule's going to go for it here on 4th, but you've got 4th and 8.
7+ minute drive for the Huskers. Got to cash it in. 4th down. Ramir Johnson. He's good catching it out of the backfield. Raiola. And picked off. Up the sideline. Indiana. Asbury. Walking them down. Woo! IU. America. They got a football team now. And they can play 78 yards.
He's going to look at the eyes of Raiola the entire time. Raiola stares over to the left side. And this is just going to be a free interception for Sean Asbury. Beautiful job. Undercuts the route. And then he's gone down the sideline. No hesitation from the back end. He's reading the eyes of the quarterback. And he's right there to make the play. And Bryant Haynes loves it.
28-7. Indiana with the ball now. Taven Jackson in at quarterback. He'll throw it. As soon as he touches it, cross, out of bounds, inside. The Nebraska 5, a 14-yard gain.
Taven Jackson is a transfer from Tennessee, but he was here last year. Last year, he did play almost through for 1,000 yards for IU. Started 5 games, played in 9. For the Hoosiers. He's a redshirt sophomore, 6'4", 212 pounds.
First down and goal at the 3. Lawton in the backfield. They give it to him straight ahead. And he'll get to the 2, maybe inside the 1-yard line on the play.
And obviously, that injury to Curtis Rourke's hand, which we were seeing at the end of the half there, was worse than what we anticipated. They go into the locker room, and now this is their first snaps of this second half. That was a long drive for Nebraska. They got the opening kick of this second half, Gus, used up half the quarter, didn't score a point, and now Taven Jackson on the field for the Hoosiers.
Only the 4th interception of the season for Raiola. 2nd and goal at the 2 for IU. They throw it, caught, touchdown, cross, touchdown, Indiana. Wow. (34-7).
Well, watch from the outside, so you're going to get kind of a block down from the outside wide receiver. This is Elijah Surratt, and that ball is caught right at or behind the line of scrimmage. That's the only way that this is legal, is if that ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage, and if it is, then Surratt can go in there and block that defender.
Radicic for the extra point. And it's good. 35-7. Who would have thunk it? First they pick one off. Asbury with a deep return. And then they pay it off with the touchdown. IU. Tomorrow on FS1 is Game 6 of the NLCS. Francisco Lindor and the Mets take on Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on FS1. Good series so far, partner.
Really good series. And I love the guys showing out. You know, Ohtani's got a couple of home runs. Mets coming back in this series, making it a series. Game 6.
Right now, Coach Cignetti not making this a game. His team just really playing with a great harmony and rhythm.
It's a good football team, man, isn't it?
Man,
we see this a lot. Gus, we've covered this sport for a long time. Oh, geez.
That one, once again, on the kickoff, mishandled. And Nebraska, Ramir Johnson has to struggle. Looks like he may have lost it in the sun. But right now, it's all Indiana. Let's see what the Cornhuskers can do. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more. And by Modelo, now recruiting full-time fans. Please drink responsibly. Last time Indiana beat Nebraska, 5 years ago in Lincoln. Peyton Ramsey threw for over 350 yards as the Hoosiers won at Nebraska for the first time in 60 years. Folks, this is incredible what's happening at Indiana University. For the first time since 1967, the last time they won the Big Ten championship, they're 6-0. Trying to become 7-0. That year in 67, they ended up winning 9 games, won the conference. Nebraska's last drive, 15 plays, 60 yards, no points on the Raiola interception. He's in trouble again, stepping up in the pocket and sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Another good play by Terry Jones Jr.
This front seven has been terrific today. They've been able to put pressure on Raiola, and they've been able to blitz from the second level without consequence because of the coverage down the field. Raiola just does not have anywhere to go with the football. Excellent job by their corners, Pons and Johnson. Their safeties have done a great job of covering up those seam routes as well.
First sack of the day for Indiana. A loss of 2, second down and 12 at the 14. Raiola winding up over the middle, and it's caught. That's Ramir Johnson out of the backfield. Bryson Bonds with the tackle. A 9-yard gain.
Nebraska just doesn't have anybody that's winning on the outside. And candidly, that was one of the concerns that I had in preparation for this game, was the fact that on the outside you've got some big physical receivers in Jamal Banks and Isaiah Nair, but no one that was really creating separation and making it easy on the quarterback. And that's coming to fruition here today.
Third down and 3 at the 23. Raiola underneath again, caught in a first down. Jamal Banks found a soft spot. He'll gain 14 on 3rd and 3. Bonds another tackle.
I think that's a real strength for Raiola, is his ability to anticipate those over the middle throws. I think you see that quite a bit when you're watching Raiola. Now, there's a lot of things he needs to improve on, and he will with experience as just such a young player. But that's certainly one of the things that he does well.
He's 19. First and 10 at the 37. Raiola again underneath. And it's Johnson stumbling forward. Gains 4 on the play. Isaiah Jones, linebacker, with the tackle.
And again, Nebraska just having to use so much clock. All day long, if they've been able to drive, it's been 10-plus plays and just no explosive plays available to them. It's a real strategy from Indiana's defense.
2nd and 6, near side. Barney get to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. D'Angelo Pons again. We've been mentioning his name the entire game, number 5.
And now another chance to get off the field for Bryant Haynes, their defensive coordinator. He talked about maintaining layers of defense to prevent the big play, the explosive play. And we've seen that all day long. Linebackers in position, safeties in position, making tackles and making life difficult on Nebraska. Now remember, not a traditional 3rd down here. Almost assuredly Nebraska would go for it on 4th, even if they don't get it.
3rd down and 4 at the 43. Raiola in trouble. Raiola escapes, delivers. Is it intercepted? Yes, it is again. Jameer Johnson this time. 2nd interception of the game for the freshman. 35-7. IU can do no wrong.
We want you to start every day with the charge you need.
Welcome back, 35-7. 2nd interception for Dylan Raiola. Let's go back to it. If you're the running back here, you've got to understand that you've got 2 guys that you need to look to blocking inside out, and he never gets out to block the blitzer. Everyone watching is like, what's Dylan Raiola doing? Well, he expects to be protected there. The back totally whiffs, and then this is the mistake from the inexperienced quarterback, is still throwing it with no one looking. That's what he'll get better at. But Nebraska around him has to become much more sound in their details offensively.
First down and 10 at the 49-yard line for the Hoosiers. Lawton in the backfield. We'll throw it near side to him. He's got a lane down the sideline and out of bounds as he crosses the 20. Tyson Lawton having a big game. He'll gain 35 for Coach Cignetti. And after 4 blowout wins to start the year, the last 2 a little difficult for Indiana. 2 games ago, they were tied with Maryland late in the 3rd. Last game only led by 3 points early in the 4th against Northwestern. Backup quarterback in now, Taven Jackson. Jackson with the handoff to Ellison. And Taven Jackson is the brother of former Indiana basketball star Trace Jackson Davis.
By the way, there's going to be no pulling back of the reins here. Like, this IU team, the rest of today, they're going to have the pedal down here. Even with Taven Jackson in here, they're going to continue to run the football. They'll be aggressive on the outside, trying to throw those RPOs, getting the ball to their playmakers. Nebraska better buckle up. This could get real messy.
Here's the pitch. They'll throw it, and incomplete. That's when they're going to have to go work on a little bit. Surratt. When I said this is going to be messy, I didn't mean Ellison's left-handed throw right there. Oh, my goodness.
Little knuckleball there.
He had him, though, didn't he? I mean, Surratt was wide open. Ellison's laughing back. Look, he's stretching out his arm. I don't think that was you weren't warmed up, man. I just don't think you can throw.
Homecoming weekend here at Indiana. He's got to get his arm a little loose, Joel.
Hey, you know the bad part? You get one shot at
one, and he'll never get another one.
No.
3rd down and 9. Jackson under pressure. Lobs it. Surratt. Touchdown, Indiana. What a catch. What a throw. Is he in? Unbelievable.
Oh, what a catch. What a catch, man. I'm telling you, this is what experience gives you. He goes to JMU last year. He was sensational. He was first team, all Sun Belt, 1,100 yards. He comes here to Indiana, and he has been absolutely brilliant. Came into today with 500 receiving yards and a couple of touchdowns, and just a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch. It's October, folks, and we've got a Willie Mays catch here in Bloomington.
8 touchdowns last year for Surratt. All FCS All-American as a freshman and first team All Sun Belt as a sophomore. He's going to be something in the Big Ten because he's having a wonderful year. And so are the Hoosiers, up big. For Indiana from 1945 to 48, leading them to their first Big Ten championship and only undefeated season in 1945. He was the first African-American to be drafted into the NFL when he was selected by the Bears in 1949. And after football, he got his master's degree in social work from the greatest school in the history of planet Earth, Howard University, and eventually returned to Bloomington as a professor.
He's spoken like a true alum right there. Am I right?
Also the Vice President of the United States, by the way. But what about this? 42-7. Whew, unbelievable. And this one will be returned from the goal line. Barney. So, folks, the clip that we showed you at the beginning of the game when Coach Cignetti was talking to the fans at a basketball game, I called that basketball game. And after he had made his speech, he was sitting right next to me. And I said, so what do you really think? And I'd be remiss as a good reporter, and I'm a good reporter, I think. He said, I got to report this story to you, what he said. I said, so what do you think, Coach? He said, we're going to kick all their ass. I said, what? He said, oh, yeah. And when I left the game, I said, that man is crazy, thinking that he's going to come to Indiana and do that.
And lo and behold,
look
here
at what's happening. Let's take another listen to what he said before he talked to me. Coach Cignetti, all business. But this is him at the basketball game before the season started when he just got the job.
I've never taken a back seat to anybody and don't plan on starting now. Purdue sucks.
And I think he threw in Michigan and Ohio State as well.
He definitely did.
And I have a feeling that the Wolverines, and especially the Buckeyes who are off, are watching this game.
Well, I'll just tell you, like, we asked him about that, and he said, I was tired, number one, because of the whole day. And then he was like, and you know what? I was pissed off. And it comes off in that clip. And he was mad because he got here and he got the same question over and over. How are you going to do this here? How are you going to, this is Indiana. We don't win here. No one wins here. How are you going to do that? And he was like, hey, man, I'm here to win. And that's what you saw is that raw emotion. We saw some of that raw emotion yesterday when we met with him. That's the way he lives his life. He coaches this team, and it's infectious, not only to his staff who's been with him for a long time, but also to these players. You know, he gets all these guys to come up from JMU, all these transfers that come up, and his philosophy in the transfer portal has completely transformed to this roster. This is a damn good football team. They are hammering Nebraska today. I'm going to review this potential catch from Lloyd. I think that, does he get that hand in? Controlling it. If that hand is inbounds, then that would definitely be a catch. This will be a better look. See if that entire hand is in. It looks to be in.
And getting back to Cignetti as they take a look at this, and this is what he said about his comments. You know, when you get to be 62, 63, you lose your filter a little bit, right? Cignetti told reporters, and when you're used to success and you've been on campus all day and you detect some things you don't really like, it kind of gets under your skin a little bit. And we are in the entertainment business. This is entertainment. It's coaching, but it's entertainment. And I tell you what, he is putting out an entertaining squad on the field right now. Indiana with an opportunity to go 7-0 if they're able to hold on and win this game.
Yeah, man, I do think that they're going to give him a catch here. Lloyd on the sideline.
After review, the receiver's hand came down in bounds. It is a catch. It will be first down for Nebraska at the 40-yard line.
17 yards.
And that's what I just want to continue to stress is like this is not smoke and mirrors. This is and listen, I loved this TCU team, and they made it all the way to the national championship game a couple of years ago. But this feels even more real than that Max Duggan TCU team from 2022. The reason is that TCU team was just in a number of tight one-score games and kept just eking them out. This team is hammering folks.
That one incomplete. And the thing about it when we talked to him yesterday, just to Coach Cignetti has taken such an interesting pathway, Coach. I mean, folks, he was with Coach Saban. His father was the head coach at West Virginia. His father hired Coach Saban, as you mentioned. Then he went to Coach Saban the first 4 years, won a national championship, stayed one more year. 2nd and 10 at the 40 for Nebraska. Gabe Irvin in the backfield. Rayola, sidearm. That one caught out of bounds at the 45 by Barney. So then, after the 4th year at Alabama, he took the head coaching job at Elon College.
No. Indiana University.
Indiana University, excuse me. And then he took the head coaching job at Elon College.
That's right.
And Nick Saban said to him, you really want to go down there? You can get lost at an Indiana University, Pennsylvania.
And sometimes in this profession, you just got to bet on yourself. And you know what? Maybe in life, sometimes you got to bet on yourself, and that's what he did. And There's another nice stop by that defensive line on third down. I'm sure Nebraska will go for it. But as this quarter winds down, sometimes in life you got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to bet on yourself. And that's exactly what that man did, Curt Cignetti. And guess what? A few years later, he's here at Indiana. They got a ranked team. They're undefeated, sitting at the top of the Big Ten. 42-7 Hoosiers.
Unbelievable. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft with you. Big day for Indiana. This may be the biggest game they've had here in a long time.
Yeah, long time. I mean, they had some really good teams like the COVID year with Michael Penix as their quarterback. But this certainly feels real. Look at what they did in the third quarter. An important quarter. They're up. They want to go out and make a statement. It's exactly what they did. Only had the ball for 2 minutes on their offense, but scored 14 points.
4th down and 2.
Before the ball was snapped. False start. Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's Bryce Benhart. He's their most experienced guy up front. 47 games he's played in, most by a Nebraska offensive lineman. Super senior and guy that they were really relying on this year. And this has just not gone right today. And Nebraska knew that this was an incredibly important day for them, their program, this rebuild under Matt Rule, and nothing's gone right. They come out here and they see a team across from them that is just firing on all cylinders.
Play clock winding down on 4th down and 7. Timeout Nebraska. But only the second year, as you mentioned, Joel, for Coach Rule. Takes some time. He's rebuilt programs during his entire career at Temple, at Baylor. And as they say, Rome was not built in a day. 5 wins, though. That's a good sign. 1 more, and they become bowl eligible.
Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. So while the second half just hasn't gone Nebraska's way, a beautiful interception by Sean Asbury, who read the eyes of the quarterback, set his offense up for a nice touchdown, and they were in. Then Jameer Johnson gets the interception. Some miscommunication on the pass protection. Raiola throws it. It gets picked off, and just an incredible reception over the shoulder for a touchdown by Elijah Surratt.
4th down and 7 for the Cornhuskers. Raiola looking for that first down, incomplete. Knocked away, intended for Fedoni. Isaiah Jones and Aiden Fisher in the vicinity, and Nebraska turns it over on downs.
Yeah, great defense by Indiana, and they knew exactly what was going on. So you've got 2 seam routes right here, but they're going to double cover each of those seam routes. You got a coverage guy here, you've got a safety right there that go and undercut those seam routes, and there's nowhere to go with the football. Player over the top, player underneath. Raiola tries to fit that into a tight window. It's behind Fedoni. Actually, quite lucky that that one wasn't intercepted by D'Angelo Pons.
And Joel, please finish your story on the pathway of Coach Cignetti, if you can, on this drive.
Well, Cignetti bets on himself, and the reason is because he was a recruiting coordinator for Alabama. And here's the deal, inside football a little bit. If you're really good at being a recruiting coordinator, the head coach doesn't want to make you the offensive coordinator because you're already great at recruiting. But you can't become, and this is what he was doing at Alabama in those first few classes. Look at the guys he recruited. Marcel Darius, Julio Jones.
Head coach.
Matt Rule got an unsportsmanlike on the opposite side, obviously not happy. Our very own Mark Ingram, who ended up winning a Heisman Trophy. They win a national championship in their 3rd year there. But, Gus, you don't get that elevation to offensive coordinator because he's such a great recruiter. So, to be a head coach, you've got to be an offensive coordinator. So he thought to himself, I'm pigeonholed. I'm stuck. Wait, IUP is going to give me a chance to be a head coach? Done. Put the chips in the middle of the table. Let's go see if I can do it. And guess what? This guy is one hell of a head coach.
1st down and 10 of the 28. They run it over the left side with Black. And what he also said was yesterday when we met with him, He said, I didn't want to be 58 years old and still an assistant.
Yeah, and all he does is win. So he took what he learned as an assistant, and he went to IUP, they won. He goes to Elon, they win. He's coach of the year. He goes to JMU, they win. You know, and
his dad coached at IUP as well.
Yeah,
and
right.
at West Virginia as the head coach.
He got the job at IUP 5 years after his father, Frank. You know, but now this guy, you know, he's brought all these young coaches along with him. So this staff at Indiana has largely been with him since really his days at Elon.
Justice Ellison on the run. And if you weren't with us for Indiana, their starting quarterback, Curtis Rourke, has not played in the second half because of a hand injury. So in to replace him, Taven Jackson, younger brother of Trace Jackson Davis, the NBA player for the Golden State Warriors. There's Rourke. He's in street clothes now. Let's hope that hand isn't as bad as it looked. They're down and 2 at the 20. Handoff. Ellison first down. And he'll get down to the 10. Let's go downstairs to Jen with more.
Well, unfortunately, first for Curtis Rourke, they don't provide more updates on his status and the severity of that thumb injury. Gus, what I can tell you, they have padded it a little bit more, that right thumb. Obviously, he was dealing with that bleeding in the first half, but his spirits obviously remain good. But we see the score as well. He's a happy guy right now. And just quickly, a little bit more to add on Cignetti. I thought it was so interesting in talking to one of the veterans, Mike Kadick, who obviously was here for the ups and downs. And the word he used was swagger. He obviously loved the fact that his coach walked around with this confidence, and specifically about those words.
Touchdown is the word. Black.
I have a feeling they're enjoying the day. That swagger fully on display. And what Kadick told me about their new head coach, he said, I don't care if we upset guys with our confidence. His words, he believed we could back it up. And boy, Indiana football, they're backing it up today.
How about this? And you wouldn't know if coach was up 48-7 or down 48-7. Same demeanor on the sideline, focused. Indiana 9 drives, 7 touchdowns today. What a fire. Coach Cignetti is lit with this team, program, university. Indiana, real deal. 49-7. Get ready, Big Ten. Here they come. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. The last time Indiana started a season 7-0 was in 1967, and they beat Wisconsin in their 7th win, led by quarterback Harry Gonzo. The Hoosiers went on to finish 9-2, winning the Big Ten championship. 49-7. Yes, folks. 49-7, Indiana leading Nebraska. Nobody would have thought that this would have happened coming into this game.
Just having their way with Nebraska, whatever they want to do, either side of the ball.
53,082 sellout crowd in attendance. Their record crowd, 56,223 versus Purdue in 1969. And this ball advanced all the way across the 40 up to the 44-yard line. Purdue won that game 44-21. You have a feeling that record may be broken this year. Here's today's Aflac trivia question, sponsored by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Who was the last Indiana player to win Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year? That's probably Anthony Thomas, excuse me, running back.
I was thinking of that, or gosh, wasn't there like a slash type player? And I'm totally,
Antoine Randall.
Yes, Antoine Randall.
He's a quarterback. Harburg scrambling. All right, let's answer it for
That's
you.
tough. There we go.
Who was it?
Antoine Randall.
Antoine Randall.
There we are. I love that.
He was a slash in the NFL.
Yeah, he was.
For the Steelers.
2001. Look at this. 6th in the Heisman Trophy voting. 17 total touchdowns. 2,628 total yards, and a first-team All-American. Antoine Randall. I tell you, I'm really hopeful for Curtis Rourke that his injury is not serious, because, and obviously he's not going to be out here playing for accolades, but you brought something up at the halftime. Like, if you're talking about the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year here at basically the middle of the season, he's in the conversation. There's no doubt about it. So let's hope for both Indiana and for Curtis Rourke's sake that injury to that throwing hand is not going to be severe enough to keep him out of action moving forward.
First down at the 33. Raiola underneath, and it's caught. And they'll get to the 5-yard line. That's Fedoni again. He's had a terrific game.
So here's what you see from Raiola. High highs, low lows. Watch him step up in the pocket and then off platform deliver an incredible ball to Fedoni, who's down the field, number 24. So he steps up and then across his body. That's a beautiful throw.
28-yard gain. Fedoni, 6 catches, 91 yards, averaging 15 yards per catch.
Timeout, Indiana, their first of the half.
You calling the timeout, 49-7, our score.
Gus, let me just go back to what I just said, high highs, low lows for Raiola. I think we've seen some of that today, right? I mean, we've seen some of those throws that make you come out of your seat, and you're like, oh, there it is. That's exactly why he was who he was in recruiting. And then there are times when you're like, oh, yeah, that's the true freshman mistakes.
He's a freshman.
And that's understandable. Moving forward, the challenge for Nebraska, their coaching staff, I think Matt Rule and Dylan Raiola himself, is to just try to clean up those mistakes. Because he's one of those types of players that you can see the creativity there and the off-platform throws. You don't want to take that away from him, but at the same time, you want him to play cleaner and within more the structure of the pocket. So it's a double-edged sword, yes, and it might be a bumpy road here in the next few weeks as their schedule continues to get more difficult, but the talent is certainly there.
First down and goal at the 5. Raiola sprinting out of the pocket, throws on the move, and incomplete. Intended for Banks, just couldn't hold on. Jameer Johnson. Tell you what, we're talking a lot about this Indiana offense, but this defense pretty good too.
Yeah, they are, and especially when the officials will let you get away with just a blatant hold, which Jameer Johnson got away with right there. I mean, good coverage, but then he just yanks the jersey of the wide receiver, and the official doesn't call it, which was right in front of him. Officiating this year has just been atrociously poor.
Second down and goal at the 5. Raiola throws the fade in the corner, incomplete again, intended for Banks. It hasn't been that bad, has it, Joe?
All around, absolutely. Replay has been really.
You have been you've been a little tough on him.
Well, as I get older,
like my friend Sean McDonough, who kills the officials all the time. My brother.
I'm getting to that point. I might need to
start to sound like Sean.
Oh man, Raiola just out of the hands, out of the reach of Jamal Banks there. Had him open.
49-7. Third down and goal at the 5. Here's a handoff. Nowhere to go. Quentin Ives, James Carpenter plugging up, dropping him. A loss of 1 brings up 4th down and goal.
Man, we've called Carpenter's name a couple of times, haven't we, in the backfield? Another one of those JMU transfers. He's a little undersized for the interior. He's only about 280 pounds, but man, he plays hard. Very productive player, and a couple of tackles for loss today.
4th down and goal at the 6. Raiola in trouble, and he is swarmed. Woo! Kamara with another sack. Indiana, all business. Kamara, 6 sacks on the season in his first year at IU.
You know what's brilliant? Boring. Think about it. Boring is the unsung catalyst for bold.
What straps bold to a rocket and hurtles it into space? Boring does.
Boring makes vacations happen.
Early retirement's possible.
And startups start up.
Because it's smart, dependable, and steady. All words you want from your bank. For nearly 160 years, PNC Bank has been brilliantly boring, so you can be happily fulfilled. Which is pretty unboring if you think about it.
Whoa, what's this?
Aflac Duck signed me to an NIL deal.
An NIL deal?
It's name, injury, and likeness.
Aflac.
With a name like Prime, an injury like mine, and a likeness so fine, that's a triple threat.
Couldn't we just tell people Aflac pays cash for expenses not covered by health insurance?
If we want people to understand how Aflac helps close that gap, we got to get you to think bigger, coach.
You gotta be kidding.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Find an agent, get a quote at Aflac.com.
Miss Terry's not gonna like this.
Trouble.
Are they really going to spend all day streaming college football on DirecTV? Can you blame them? They've got the biggest rivalries.
And bowl games. Speaking of, Frank, run a slant to the bowl of chips. Bobby, button hook to the salsa.
What are you going to do, Coach Prime?
Don't question your coach, man.
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors. Easy to...
IU has at least 400 yards and 31 points in every game this year. Today, Hoosiers have only faced third down 7 times, converting on 5 of them. Tough day for the young man, Dylan Raiola. Growing pains for this Nebraska team as well. First down and 10 at the 15 for IU. 10:31 to go in the fourth. They're not finished, folks. Here's a handoff. Black. Gain of 3.
Been able to talk about them a couple of times, but this offensive line has been really good today, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
I think up front, so we've talked a lot about the transfers. The only group, Gus, really on the entire team that they didn't go heavy on transfers was the offensive line. 4 of these guys returned from a year ago. Smith, Evans, Kadick, and Lynch. They're all on the left side. Then Trey Weddick, the right tackle, they brought in from Wisconsin. They also, Gus, kept the offensive line coach from a year ago, Bob Bostad. He was a holdover on this staff, and he was originally from Wisconsin under Paul Christ.
Jackson just tiptoe out of bounds.
So he totally transformed the roster, and he packed his bags. They might not have been Louis like Deion Sanders, but they were Samsonite for sure, and reliable and experienced. 80 combined starts by the transfers. That's the most in FBS. 27 of those transfer players. He's got 14 starters out here. Immediate impact guys that were really good, all-conference caliber players at their teams. And he brought them in, and they've been sensational. And they get better every week on film and certainly here today in person.
And you know what, Joel? They may not have been Louis coming here, but with the incentives that he's going to have kicking in, they may be a Burka bag. Balenciaga, if they got him for guys.
I think that
Gucci.
Signetti and Rourke was really the headliner, and he's the one that they needed, right? You needed a quarterback. I'm really disappointed for him that he got that right hand banged up, has not played in the second half. It has not affected this offense, though. I will say this, Taven Jackson has come in and played excellent football behind a really solid offensive line, and then these skilled position players that have made a lot of plays.
Rourke keeping that right hand in his pocket. Now Horton with running room.
You know, you look at what Rourke was able to do early in this game. High-profile matchup. We're here, big game. He was excellent. These back shoulder fades early in the game. Excellent accuracy, allowing his wide receivers to make adjustments down the field, which they did, winning the contested catches. But here's where he bangs up his hand against Williams right there. James Williams comes in on the rush. There's a picture of that hand, that thumb all beat up, and he did not come out and play in this second half. So they gave the ball to Taven Jackson, and Taven Jackson, he took that ball and he ran with it because this offense hasn't slowed down in the second half.
Here's the big run by Green. Now, you played quarterback in Colorado. And when I look at your hands now, you got all kinds of scars and marks on them from when your hands got busted up. How long does it take to recover from an injury like that?
Well, the hardest part about an injury to your throwing hand is that you can't get that real good, you can't shoot it up. Basically is what I'm trying to say. You can't get the good stuff.
You can't take a shot?
No, you can't take a shot because then you can't feel your hand at that point, and you need touch. And you've got to feel that ball come off of the index finger, and you got to feel that ball in your thumb. Your thumb is responsible for ball security. So, those things are huge, and it makes it, I think, rather than like a terrible injury, like a torn ligament or something like that, of injuries that you can play through, for a quarterback, it's certainly the worst one because there's nothing you can do for it medically. You just have to kind of grin and bear it and play through it.
How long does it take to heal?
Depends. If that's a cut that needs stitches, then at least 2.5 weeks before you feel good again. Now, I'm sure he'll play. It won't shock me, Gus, if he has a glove on that hand next week. And then it just comes down to, like, can you throw the ball accurately with a glove? Some guys can, some guys struggle with it.
So far, though, Taven Jackson has been really solid. That one dropped. Anderson Cobb, Kobe couldn't hold on.
He had a lot of room, too. He was going to run for a long time. And now the first punt of the day.
How about that? James Evans. Evans puts toe into it, and it's caught at the 15 by Garcia Castaneda, and he is dropped immediately. Some good special teams play continuing for this team. This time it's Kobe.
It all started with a small business idea.
It's a pillow with a speaker in it.
That's right, Craig.
Pulling in the perfect team to get the job done.
I'm just here for the internet. AT&T, it's super fast.
You locked us out?
And when we were thrown a curveball, we had everything we needed.
Is the internet out? Don't worry, we have AT&T internet backup.
The next level network for small business.
I sold a pillow.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play.
And Doug.
Whoa, Limu, we're in a parade. Everyone, customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Customize and save!
And then I wake up.
And you have the stream every night?
Yeah, every night.
I see.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Jordan's sore nose let out a fiery sneeze, so Dad grabbed Puffs Plus lotion to soothe her with ease. Puffs Plus lotion is gentle on sensitive skin and locks in moisture to provide soothing relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed. America's #1 lotion tissue.
Hardee's $5.99 original bag gets you way more than junior burgers, small Sammys, or tiny nuggies. You can't skimp on goodness on game day. The original bag, just $5.99, only at Hardee's.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Mark Hoagies, your new head coach. Okay, guys, culture change, okay? We're bringing back an old school mentality. Yeah, this team sucks. Take this, I'm done.
Universal Basic Guys, special time Sunday after football.
Next year, Fox will be bringing you all the IndyCar Series races for the first time. That includes the Indianapolis 500, right here in Indiana, where next Memorial Day weekend, Fox will be covering all the action from the Brickyard. I remember as a kid watching the Indianapolis 500, the name that always sticks out in my mind was A.J. Foyt.
I just remember Mario Andretti.
Mario Andretti, yeah.
You know, all the Andretti.
As a matter of fact, as a kid, I used to have the Mario Andretti Indy car.
Did you?
I think it was black and gold. I want to say, I don't know if I remember, but I know it was a Mario Andretti car. First down to 20. Raiola, that one deflected, intercepted again. Wow. This time, Hardy pulls it down. Third interception thrown by Raiola. Marcus Burris with the deflection. And here's the schedule coming up for IU. They may be without the quarterback, Rourke. Washington on the 26th, right here. And at Michigan State.
You know, you look at that.
Not hard, not crazy.
Are they going to be favored in every game but one? I think so. Like, they'd be favored against Michigan next week. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, look at what they're doing today. 49-7. Let's put it to you this way. Gus, we've done a lot of Michigan-Ohio State games in our career. If Michigan or Ohio State was doing this in Bloomington today, a nice run here. Nice run.
Jackson first down, flag on the play.
But if Michigan or Ohio State was doing this to Nebraska today after Nebraska started 5-1, we'd be like, oh, this is one of the best teams in the country. You know, and IU needs to be extended that exact same. This is the hold there on the outside.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
They have totally dominated the game. Gus, they're going to be looking to go over 500 yards of total offense. They've got almost 480 currently. And per play, 8.7 yards per play. That's up there with like the best offenses in the sport historically. Like the great OU offenses with Baker Mayfield, they were 8.5 yards per play. Like this Indiana offense is excellent. And they're doing this against a defense that came in the top 10 in the scoring defense in college football.
Black. I still kind of don't understand, Joel, how a man can come to a program that had been struggling for wins. Indiana had won 3, 4, and 2 games over the last 3 years. The 9 total wins in the previous 3 years before Cignetti arrived this season was tied for the fewest in the Power 5 conferences.
Well, they did a couple of things. Their search was correct. Scott Dolson did a great job as their athletic director, and what they targeted and what they wanted to hire was very smart. And then they also started to support the program, and that's a big part of this.
Over the middle, first down. Horton again. Coach Cignetti was given that opportunity to coach at Alabama with Coach Saban. Won a national championship there, but Coach Cignetti's father, Frank, gave Coach Saban an opportunity at West Virginia.
Quarterback, defense number 32. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Coach Cignetti's father gave Coach Saban an opportunity as a defensive backs coach when he took over as a head coach at West Virginia way back then.
Yeah. And just to wrap that up, the reason that's a pass not pass interference, a roughing the passer is that the quarterback's in a passing posture. You can't hit him low, and that's why the flag came out. Unless you're blocked into the quarterback's legs, you can't go into the legs on your own. That's why that flag came out for roughing the passer.
So first down and goal at the 4. Indiana trying to hang a half 100 on Nebraska. As they run it with Green, and he'll get closer to the goal line and that 50-point mark.
And you look around at some of these coaches around the country that are having success, and it's almost like, hey, you know what? These coaches from lower levels that have a lot of success and they win, they know what they're doing. Kurt Cignetti, Kalen DeBoer, Chris Kleiman, they all come to mind. Lance Leipold, although Kansas is struggling this year, but they know what they're doing. You know, they know how to go in and build programs and win.
This NIL transfer portal thing has shifted the balance of power in college football. Would you say that?
Oh, 100%. Indiana has no ability to do what they're doing this year without NIL and transfer portal.
Green again, touchdown, IU.
Easy.
Who are these guys? Where'd they come from?
They're the Hoosiers from Bloomington.
That's it. Crimson and cream all day long. Nebraska has given up 5 rushing touchdowns today. They came in having given up 0.
Now this is a gut punch for Nebraska. Just a gut punch. They've been
partner,
hammered.
this is more than a gut punch. This is knocking out your teeth. (56-7). Nebraska losing their fronts in Bloomington. As you take a look, they jump out of the frying pan and right into the fire next week in Columbus. And that team down south, they are going to be really, really edgy after losing a controversial game in Eugene last week.
And this schedule, you know, maybe other than UCLA, who, by the way, looks like they're going to get a win today in conference play over Rutgers. And that Rutgers team was 4-2 coming in today. But this schedule looks really daunting. USC is the best 3-3 team in the country. They've been in every single game. They've got a win over LSU. Wisconsin is getting better and better. They got a big win today, 23-3 over Northwestern. Iowa is a team. Iowa scored 40 points twice this year.
I saw that.
Like, I mean, you know, and you know their defense is going to be quality. So, you know, Nebraska, this was a big game for them because they don't get bowl eligibility here. Remember, last year they started 5-3, and then they didn't win another game down the stretch. So this is going to be a real pivotal moment for this organization, this young quarterback, and this coaching staff here in the second year under Matt Rule.
Short kick, fielded. Returned up to the 33. Now coming up next on Fox, we've got more great college football action as Coach Prime's Colorado squad takes on Arizona. Then at 7:30 Eastern, it's a Big 12 clash as K-State battles West Virginia. It all continues next on Fox. What do you think about your Buffs? Tough loss last week.
I thought they missed a golden opportunity last week. Taking the lead late against Kansas State. I thought that the way that game ended in the last 3 minutes, you credit Kansas State for the way that they came back right away, 2-play score, and then Colorado just, their last series was not very good.
And here is the run. Harbor, pass protection problem for Shedeur Sanders. He's still getting sacked a bunch of times.
Yeah, too many times, and that's he plays a part in that, though. You know, and I think there's some clips out there of Deion Sanders even on the sideline telling him, like, hey, man, you got to throw the ball. The problem, sometimes Shedeur is allergic to incompletions, and sometimes you just got to throw the ball away to avoid some of those hits and sacks.
Harbert, Rayola, looks like he is done for the day with 3 minutes to go in the fourth.
Well, now the question starts to become, Gus, can this Indiana team get back to Indianapolis and play for a Big Ten championship?
And maybe a college football playoff berth.
Well, and by the way, if they were to win every game except for Ohio State, whether they go to Indianapolis or not, they would certainly be in line for one of those at-large spots, even if they weren't in that Big Ten championship game. I mean, this is real. This is what I love about the expanded playoff, man. I love this about the expanded playoff. Indiana fans, this is real. This team is real. They have absolutely an opportunity to not only compete for a Big Ten title, but a playoff spot.
In the Big Ten, Oregon, number 2, Penn State, number 3, Ohio State, number 4, all in the top 5. And Indiana is the next highest ranked team. Came into this game ranked 16th.
I didn't have to spend my life trying to find my calling. Mine found me at an early age. It was just a matter of how good I could get and how far I would go.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Right now during Ram Power Days, get $4,000 cash allowance on the purchase of most 2025 Ram 1500 trucks. Don't miss Ram Power Days. Hurry in today.
Indiana shot out to a 14-0 lead and never looked back, up 21 at the half. They go on to get the win and move to 7-0 for the first time since 1967. Next week in Bloomington, they welcome Washington into town as we welcome you to the Fox College Football Extra, sponsored by Defender, as we welcome you back inside a toasty Memorial Stadium. Hoosiers have now scored at least 40 points in each of their last 6 games. That is a new school record. Coach Signetti, one of his star players, scheduled to appear on the set here momentarily. Plus, we're going to head out to ACC country and check in on the front runners from that conference. Miami and Clemson, the Canes, back and forth affair with Louisville. Coming up next, he's the triathlete of college football. Colorado's Travis Hunter returns to the field as the Buffs visit Arizona. Hunter averaging 117.5 snaps per game. Kickoff for that one under 30 minutes away. And the number 1 offense in the Big Ten did it again. All IU on this, the 3rd Saturday of October. Plenty more from Bloomington on the backside as the Hoosiers win it 56-7 on homecoming Saturday in Bloomington.
You want to be a lifeguard? This is the real deal.
Rescue High Surf is the hottest show on TV. And Monday,
Local surf legend dies and she's the last one to touch a body.
will the team
I had him in my arms.
come crashing down?
Hold up!
Rescue High Surf, all new Monday at 9 on Fox.